hashtag Muslim hat all day long.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the way it is. That's just how it is.
I think somebody asked that if we raised $100,000, if you change your middle name to Anal.
Yeah. If I get to keep the $100,000, yeah.
Would you really?
Well, if somebody said, yeah, I'll just add it on like my second line, because I never did my confirmation as a Catholic. You get to choose your second, you do your communion.
Yeah.
When you do your confirmation, you get to choose a second surname, and I didn't do that because at that point I'd realised that God didn't belong in my life. No. So I could have said something horrendously offensive then.
You could. You almost got.
And I didn't because.
1 second, I'm changing on the wardrobe change again.
Oh my God!
I don't know why I was holding the headphones to my mouth because I don't talk through the headphones.
Because you're. Wait. You can't hear me.
Okay, that feels better.
Okay, because you're a twat. Okay. Anyway, so if I could just have it as my second surname, I could be Luke Paul Anal Sandoe.
Yeah, I would do that for $100,000.
And they'll be like, and then when I go through customs or anything, why is your middle name Anal? I'll be like, it's not, it's Anal. It would work.
Anal, like sausage.
Yeah, yeah, it's Anal.
Anal. That's
exactly.
You always find a fucking loophole. Always find a fucking loophole. So what's going on, man? How's the new gym? I heard you got a leg press hack squat like me.
Yeah, well, I have the same one that you have, so we can be friends.
Yours is way better. I like mine. I actually like mine because it's shitty.
Mine's pretty good. I thought it was exactly the same.
No. Mine's a different brand, but mine, like, have you ever been on a really shitty leg press? Like when you're pushing it, you can hear it clicking up the pipe, like up the rails.
Yeah.
That's how mine is.
Oh,
but it doesn't bother me though. Because I put like 4 plates on there. It feels like 12.
It bothers me if I can feel it.
I can't feel it. I can just hear it.
Okay, if I can hear it, I don't care. But I can feel like.
Yeah.
No. It's, Well, it was actually it was a pretty good find because I wanted to get. I thought because at the time when I was looking at it in the garage, I was like, the only thing because I think I said it to you. I said the only thing I would love is like a leg press because I do. What's helped my legs come up so much is just doing loads of volume on the leg press. I can't do that with squats because my lower back and ass just fucking dies.
Yeah.
So I was looking for a pin-loaded one because they're quite small. They're quite narrow.
Yeah.
Because I thought I can't have a big one because the platform's wide.
Oh, you were looking for you were looking for a machine one?
Yeah, like a pin select. Yeah. And I was on eBay and I found it, and he'd only just put it on there, and he was doing bids, and I said, how much would you take for this? And because it said he just wants to get rid of it because he's got a home gym and he's moving house.
Yeah.
So wanted to get rid of it. I got it for 500 quid, and it was 40 minutes from my house when I picked it up. He disassembled it, so it was like super easy to put back together. And he disinfected it all, left it on a pallet outside his house.
Yeah.
And I picked it up, drove it home. It took me probably 20 minutes to put together.
Yeah.
And it's way more solid than I expected. It's quite steep. So when I have it as a hack squat, it reminds me of the Dorian, the Cybex hack. It's in between, because Dorian's one was a little bit steeper, because I've tried that one as well. So it's in between. So it's heavy and it's okay on the knees. When you put a band on it, it's absolutely fine. As a leg press, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah. I like the hack squat. I always like hack squats that are more tilted upwards.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's the same way yours is. It's like in between. It's not all the way up.
Yeah.
But the shitty thing about mine is your range of motion I can't go too deep. Like if I go too deep, I hit the stoppers at the bottom.
Yeah, I can go probably about an inch. Like I can't quite go to the depth I want, but it's only by about an inch, so it doesn't bother me too much.
You ever see when sometimes, like, I used to be a real stickler about like hitting the bottom of the hack squat. I like never hit the bottom of a hack squat.
I don't like doing that.
But then I started watching like Flex Lewis videos, and these motherfuckers are going crazy with like 8 plates, and they're hitting the bottom, but you could tell it's still work. Like they're still working.
Oh yeah. There's nothing. You're not taking anything away from it. It's just to me, it's a joint thing. If I slam it out the bottom, it just fucks my knees even more.
Oh, see, it doesn't hurt me at all. I just thought I'm cheating.
To me, it's like where I get that bounce. It's like the muscle disengages for a second, then I have to catch it again on the way back up.
I know what you mean.
Whereas if I just come all the way down, because whenever I hack, I very slightly pause at the bottom.
Yeah.
It comes straight back up.
Yeah.
And that's more for just joint health.
Yeah.
But yeah, we trained was it last night or Sunday night? We did legs, Sarah and I, and I've got soreness in my quads I've never had, like in areas I've never had, because I've been doing slightly different. Like the way I've got, I've like jimmied up that like leg extension.
I haven't seen that. No,
it's on my story. So basically, I have 2 ankle cuffs.
1 second.
You can get it up. There's some clips on my Instagram from on my page.
Well, just because people are watching, so maybe they want to.
Okay, well, go on my actual page. It's a few posts back. There's some clips from when I first set the gym up. It was our first session, and I'm doing leg extensions.
Okay.
This was before I got all the new stuff. So yeah, so we got this. So we did leg extension superset with sissy squats. And I was doing the sissy squats with a band, like attaching it to the top of the rack.
Yeah.
And going down into the most deepest stretch ever, and then coming back up and getting probably 20 reps on there.
Yeah.
And that was before. And then we did lunges, superset with hacks, and then we did finish with high rep leg press. No, it's not that one. Go back. So it's down the leg. Yeah, that one. See, so I've made a leg extension, and it actually works really well. So
what did you do? You hooked it up. Well, that's because you have the cable pulley at the bottom.
Yeah,
that works.
Yeah. I mean, and you could do that with a band.
Yep.
So you if you don't have a cable pulley.
But you have to have a pole or something to wrap the band around.
Yeah, well, you could use.
It doesn't work the same way with the band though, because you know what? I tried to do the leg extension with the band, and I found the band would roll up my legs.
It's not the same, but that's why it's good, because that's what the chain's for. It doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So if you have the chain in the middle, it stops it doing that. The band doesn't come quite all the way up the top.
Yeah.
It works. But anyway, it feels amazing. Like, and I'm hitting areas of my quad that I find quite difficult. Like the rectus femoris, like where it splits at the top.
Yep.
I need more meat there, and it's never been sore, and they are so sore today. I think it's the leg extensions and the sissy squat.
Tell me if you agree. It's better using a cuff than having a pad behind your leg.
I think so.
I just did that yesterday for the first time because the studio I'm training at has a leg cuff because he trains a lot of women.
Yeah.
And I put it on my leg and did exactly this movement.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that actually feels better than having a pad for some reason.
I would say so as well.
I don't know why.
And now because I can do leg curls, because I can do them lying as well, so I can attach I can do them lying.
Yeah.
With cuffs on, or just with the decline bench. I can do them.
Is that 4 plates and a chain?
Yeah.
I thought you said you couldn't squat well.
Well, no, I'm not. It's a safety bar. It's different.
You do. You look a little uncomfortable though.
That's because I haven't squatted in a month.
Oh, okay. And you're already up to 4 plates.
Yeah. And chain, but those chains are cool. I've got more chains coming today. I've got another two sets of heavy chains, so I'll have about 150 pounds of chains for each side.
Yeah. So I've been training with this. I was training with a friend of mine that got me started, and he had me doing a lot of high rep stuff. And I thought I was loving it, right? I was like super, super sore, but I didn't find like the fullness was coming back to the muscle. I'm like, I'm not getting like that big round feeling. So yesterday I went in to train legs by myself and I started squatting, and he had me squatting on a bench, like doing box squats.
Yeah.
And we're doing 20 rep shit with like 2 plates, and I'm like, and some bands. And I'm like, it just doesn't feel the same as without the box and using actual weight. Like, I'm not as strong as you, but I think I had 3.5 plates on there.
Yeah.
Which is good for me for safety squats, because safety squats are harder than fucking regular squats.
They're heavier, but to me they're easier because I'm comfortable.
For your mechanics, they're easier, but it's if
that's
you're
so I can tell it's way heavier.
Yeah.
But because I'm not so uncomfortable under the bar, I can manage it better.
That's what I mean. So like if somebody was comfortable under a regular bar and a safety squat bar, they'd be able to feel the difference in the weight.
Oh yeah, like five plates on a normal bar feels way less than 5.
Like 3.5 yesterday felt like 4.
Yeah.
If that makes about sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, the soreness I have today is like, I don't know. It's like when people say you don't have to train heavy, there's a different kind of soreness you get.
Well, that's why I do both.
Yeah, that's right.
So normally what I'll do is I'll do a hack, like a reverse band hack. Yep. Again, the reverse band it just saves my knees and I can still train heavy.
You don't think that takes anything away from you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
If I've got say I've got 10 or 11 plates aside, it's taking maybe 2 off the bottom.
No. I'm not. I'm not implying it is. I'm asking because I don't use it.
I know because some people are like, oh, it's just cheating. It's not fucking cheating.
Yeah.
It feels like it feels like it loads the muscle more and not the joint. Because sometimes the bottom of a hat, the bottom of a hack, it's real heavy and it feels like it's like crushing your knees and everything. It feels crushed.
Yeah.
And it's like the weight's not on the muscle anymore.
Yeah.
It's like it always takes just that part away from me.
Yep.
It just purely takes away joint stress.
Have you ever done reverse bands with a squat? Because I feel that way about the squat.
I don't like it because, I have, but I've done it where it's like sometimes the band doesn't.
Oh, you get tilted.
You can, and it doesn't feel the same.
I see.
That's why I got the chains on that safety bar because I was trying to emulate a reverse band hack. So when I train legs, I'll do it with one heavy movement like a hack or a heavy squat with the chains and then I do the volume after that. So I like doing both.
You're like me. You do the volume on the leg press.
I do the volume on the leg press and lunges, sissy squats, extensions. I just do one heavy lift and everything else is volume.
Oh, dude, you know what I did yesterday? You got to try this. I don't know how often you've done occlusion training. You heard any blood starving sets or anything like that?
Yeah, I did it when I was at the Redcon gym.
Holy shit. I haven't done it in a while because my occlusion bands that I had, the Velcro wore out on them, so I couldn't stick them on my legs properly. So yesterday I tied my knee wraps around my quad and cinched it up. And I was doing 30 rep sets on a leg press. It's like night and day, the feeling. Like the pump is like, my legs look like I had a sweep again for like 5 minutes and then it went away.
And then you took them off, they just spin. It's James and I did it when we were at Redcon because I think we landed and went straight to the gym to train legs.
Yeah.
And we thought we're not going to go heavy, but we did something where we had the the occlusion band on because one of the guys at the gym actually had actual occlusion.
The ones that go work, yeah.
Yeah. So we put those on, and then we were on the leg extension, and we'd start with like a pin on the thing, and we'd do 20 reps, go up, 20 reps, go up, 20 reps, just keep going until you can't do 20 reps, and then go back down again.
Yep.
We did 6 sets of that, and then we squatted, and that was horrendous.
Oh, your squats must have been horrible with that pump afterwards.
But they felt really good. I think we still did like 4 or 5 plates. No, we did machine squats. We went up to.
Oh, that would have been different.
Like the true squat, the one that's like, it's like I think it's made by Pendulum.
Okay.
And it's just like it's a really good machine. So it's just
what was I going to say? Somebody asked a question about knee problems.
Yeah.
In the thing, and I just wanted to tell people if you have any injuries, occlusion training is kind of a way to mitigate the pain a bit.
I found that doing a lot of the volume stuff first, then putting the heavy stuff in the middle, and with the heavy stuff, I always like to say bands and chains.
Yeah.
Just to get stress off the knees. That's helped me a fair bit.
But I just mean like if you still want to try and get like let's say trying to go like for my tricep, for example, I can't go super heavy with it because it's just not healing properly.
Yeah.
If I still want to get a crazy pump, it's one way to do it. So if your knees are fucked and you can't squat 4 plates like Luke, then setting up some occlusion bands on your quads is a good way to get a really good pump without having to go heavy. And
also you can do that and then go and do leg press fairly heavy, but kind of in the 20 rep range because your quads are fucked.
Do you ever do the occlusion on the leg press or no?
I did it once, but I don't think I had the wraps on right.
Most people like to do it on the leg extension. They don't do it on the heavier stuff.
I would love to do the leg press or hack squat.
Yeah. The pump is just different, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else is going on? Anything else new? I see you're wearing a nice green Redcon. Doesn't really, their colors are red, I thought.
Yeah, I think it was St. Patrick's Day. So
I get it.
So yeah, well, to be fair, I was wearing a vest and I sat down. I was wearing a stringer actually. I sat down. I was like, I'm not wearing this. And this was the first t-shirt I saw.
What's your weight at now?
I was 284 this morning.
I was 281.
Nice.
I told you better fucking look out. I'm coming.
I'm way leaner than you though. No, it's,
in my defense, I have eaten too many pizzas, and you are.
No, it's not. It's
You are definitely leaner.
Well, one of the weirdest things has happened to me this year. Is only this year. When I was like prepping for the show, I got down to like 260.
Yeah.
Like 8 weeks out, and I'm like 255 on stage, but I looked way bigger than I've ever looked.
Yeah.
And even Chris was like, "Why are you so light?" Like even James and I were like, "Why the fuck am I like? I don't weigh. It's like my bones have hollowed out or something."
I know why.
Why?
You added more volume to your training, so the muscle probably looked rounder. One of the things I always wondered about Dorian Yates was, as amazing as he was, had he added more volume, like some higher rep stuff, I always wonder if his body would have been even more crazy.
The training didn't change too much, and I was stronger. I think what it was is my waist wasn't quite as big, so maybe I wasn't quite eating so much. I wasn't holding so much weight in like food. Like, you know, sometimes you know, you have like a massive cheat meal and you weigh like 10 pounds of shit as in you for about 3 days. Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah. Is that, and probably the fact that for the first time when I've prepped, I've actually been the same condition from the front and the back. Yeah. Like normally I'm like really good from the front and I weigh like 275 and people are like, wow, you're nearly ready. And then I turned around and I'm like Marshmallow Man.
Yeah.
This time I think it was relatively similar, so that might explain it. But it's just weird. Like, I don't understand.
Your body's maturing, man. Your body's maturing. You're 31 now. It's like,
yeah, it's weird. It's like, because I'm normally like 8 weeks out, I'm like 280 and just buttery as fuck from the back.
Somebody got mad at me for saying you were in your prime.
Did they? I think it was me, wasn't it?
No. Other than you. One of your fans came on. They're like, he's not even close, man. And I'm like, okay, like
it's true. Well, okay. Well, here's an example. This is how I know I'm not, and this is why, like, I haven't been particularly.
We're just looking at it differently.
No. This is just something I've noticed. We talked about. You know, I've always said, like, when we were younger, we had like sausage legs.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
My legs, for some reason, are leaner than my upper body for the first time ever.
That's because
they're always vascular. I was like walking around in some little shorts in the garden the other day.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and Sarah's like, I can just see like striations in your legs as you're walking around.
Yeah.
And that never happens. And I used to be fatty McFat legs.
Yeah, but you asked me that. Like, I remember.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's what I'm saying. I'm starting to mature. So
that's age. Yeah. But when I say your prime, I think me and you are looking at it differently. I'm looking at it like you've been building your body and you've built the.
I get what
the base is built. Yes. Right. It's not going to you're not going to gain 30 more pounds of muscle.
It's all like, bells and whistles from here on out.
Yeah. It's just going to polish things up a bit.
Just polish, just constantly polishing. I posted a picture yesterday. It's one of my favorite pictures of me.
It's a good photo. I saw that.
But my face is so funny in it. It's the only picture from the Arnold where my face is like that.
Why?
I'm just so, there's no expression.
Dead face.
Just dead as fuck.
People don't know though when you're on stage like that.
No. It must have just been like a weird. Like I must have just hit the shot before I'd done a smirk or a smile.
I don't ever smile when I'm on stage.
No, but I don't. But sometimes I don't. But that's not even mean mugging. That's just I'm dead. That's why I put it's the exact guidelines of passport photography. That face.
This is really good, dude. This is like your best shot almost.
Yeah, it's a nice photo. Yeah, it's dead straight on as well. And a lot of the time with stage photos, they're always at a kind of off angle.
You know, it's funny. You always talk about your chest being your weak point.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the front double bicep hides it.
Hides my chest.
Yeah, like you can't tell it's a weak point in this pose. So
the thing about my chest is that it's not like Arnold where it comes down to like his fucking lower rib.
Like Ronnie's like that too.
Yeah, it doesn't go that far down. The actual size of it.
It's small, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's pretty.
The area it takes up on your body.
Because like Flex Lewis and Justin Compton were a little bit like that.
Yeah.
And so it's like Lee Priest in a way was like that.
What I think of about that? I think of Ben. Ben's chest was always very short, but it was very thick.
Yeah. Like some guys that have like the bigger arms and shoulders, a lot of the times when they do like their most muscular, it just buries their chest. It just disappears.
Like this.
Like that is not a small chest. It's quite thick. It's just been eaten alive by everything else.
Well, it's all the illusion, right? Like your arms are so wide that it makes your chest look small.
Yeah, and it's like my chest isn't actually as terrible as it looks. It's just that it gets. I mean, my forearms are bigger than my fucking chest.
And how do you live with this fucking hairiness? How do you live with this?
So yeah, look at check it out. Check it out. That's fluff. That is as pure, unadulterated man.
Seriously, okay, but
it's moist to touch. It's just attracting all the moisture.
That's disgusting.
It's like a jungle. I reckon it has its own fauna. I do need to click it off. I just haven't done it yet.
I can't do it.
Well, as you can see by that last picture, I like to take care of my arms and my arms.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And arms, just because that's a bit gross, isn't it? Because if my shoulder matched my stomach, that's horrendous. So my back and shoulders, they're not as bad.
For me, it's not a matter of like how it looks. I don't feel clean. Like if I'm
that's what I mean. That's what it's getting to the point now where I'm
yeah.
like, this is awful. I can't be asked to do it. And I know when I've done it, I'll be like, oh, I only took 5 minutes, but it's the thought of doing it.
Yeah.
It's a long slog.
Are you excited to get back to diet or what?
I'm kind of cruising at the moment with everything.
Are you like 80-20 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably even less. Probably a bit less. I'm training more for fun.
Yeah.
And if I like want to eat something shit, I'll eat it. And I'm keeping an eye on how I'm looking. If I got a bit fatty, I'll be like, I need to slow down. But everything is fine. And mentally, I was thinking this morning, like all of a sudden, I'm starting to get my like mojo for bodybuilding back. I'm like, oh,
maybe you needed a break.
I think you're right. I did say at the beginning of the year I was tempted, and now I'm a bit like, oh, fucking.
Well, you know what? Honestly, that feeling that you're having, could it be from training in your garage? Because I feel that way training alone all of a sudden. I feel way different, man. Just being alone.
No, I think it's the fact that I'm training just full stop again. I'm not doing it for anyone else. I don't have to show anyone anything. I haven't got to send pictures to Chris. I haven't got a fucking answer to anyone.
But you don't notice any difference training in the garage by yourself? You don't feel different?
No, I feel like I just am not. I tell you what I miss about the gym is that when I change exercise, I have to rebuild the whole gym.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
That pisses me off. It's like, that apart from that, I love it.
Yeah.
But it will never replicate the gym for me. But it's, so like if I'm doing like an incline barbell and then I want to do a flat press with a different bar, I have to reset the whole.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just lazy saying that that's annoying, but it is annoying.
Yeah, no, I know. I got to confess something. I don't know how it's going to be for me dieting again. I haven't done a show since 2017. And even though I did a prep in 18 and 19, it's different when you don't finish because I got injured both times.
I think it'll be fine.
I don't think I remember how to diet, like how to be fucking super strict.
You just start early and thumb it in. Just like take it easy for those first few weeks. Yeah, just thumb it in. Yeah.
I know what it's just.
I know because I kind of know what you mean because when you're a bit, it's a bit alien again because you've been out of the loop for a while. Right. You just need to ease back in. Just all you need to do is just, John, what do I eat for the next week? Just eat that exactly, and eventually you'll start locking in.
Yeah.
You can't start a fifth gear. You've got to start a first gear.
Yeah, I know. Do you ever feel like, my whole career I felt like I want to do my own prep, and I've never done my own prep. I've always had ever since day one I had a coach.
I won't do it.
You don't think so?
I get shit for not wanting to do it, but the way I see it, this is my career. There's large sums of money at stake.
Yeah.
And I don't trust my emotional state to listen to the logical side.
But what if you said to Chris, I want to still send you pics whenever you want them, but I want to work on the diet with you?
We do that anyway.
Okay.
Because it's like with Chris, like sometimes if I say, okay, the next 3 days, Chris, I'm traveling. Can you just give me, can we do numbers for the next 3 days and I'll stick to these foods? And he's like, yeah, we'll do this. And I'll tell him my exact schedule and we'll figure it out. Or if like a type of food I prefer, he'll let me change it.
Well, I can do that too.
Yeah,
but
it's like,
I almost feel like I want to write it out.
Well, I do, because when I start the prep, I write my own diet and send it to him and we go off that.
I see.
So like the reason I did a live feed for about 10 minutes of Chris the other day, and he hates intra workouts. He hates the intra carbs.
Yeah.
He just doesn't give them to me. But I have them in mind because when I started, I wrote that onto my plan. He just left it in.
Yeah.
He said, and he was like, "Do you like it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like it." I feel my pumps better, and I just feel like, it's more about hydration and like just feeling good.
Yeah. I like a little bit too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, only like 30 grams.
Yeah.
And he just was like, "Okay, cool. If you like it, you like it."
I did that with John last year before I tore my tricep for Toronto, and I was getting in pretty good shape. I never even hit that flat point because I was having I shouldn't confess this, but I was having huge cheats on Saturday.
I don't think that's bad because I think you've kind of proven that it works because you never come in off.
Yeah. And
I think your condition speaks for itself. That I think for someone like you, if I said that, everyone would, well, stop it. But if you do it, it's okay because you get
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have a talk with him because I like varying my foods a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I don't have chicken, I always try and match something similar. So if I don't want to have chicken, I'll have fish.
Yeah.
Or if I don't want to have fish or chicken, I'll have egg whites. You know what I mean? And I don't think there's any harm in doing that.
No, Chris is fine with that.
Yeah.
Chris is absolutely fine with that. Like, like if I just, I mean, sometimes if I'm, like if we get, we actually, isn't it? We got stuck in Columbus for another day after the Arnold. So James and we went back to the hotel because our flight got cancelled. So we stayed another night, and I said to Chris, the only thing I can get is Subway salads for the travel home tomorrow. And I told him exactly what I was having, and he wrote it down. He put it in his notes, and he knew that's what I'd eaten. So when I checked in, sent him pictures, he knew that's what I'd eaten the last couple of days. Somebody
asked that question. What's your go-to at Subway? Your go-to footlong at Subway?
Oh, it changes. It changes a lot.
Does it? Mine's the same every time.
I normally order 2 or 3 footlongs. And
I do 2. 2 is standard order.
I sometimes do 3 because I'll eat 2.5 in my part, another half later. I can eat 3, but it's
I love doing this with you because there's nobody else that would sit on this fucking podcast with me and admit that they eat 3 feet of sub. But we all do it.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think three footlongs is that impressive. I've seen loads of guys. It's not.
It's not impressive like food challenge impressive, but to the average person, you're a slob.
Maybe, but I'm not a fat cunt.
No, like when I go order 2 feet of sub, I have to pretend like one's for my wife.
I don't give a flying fuck. They're looking at the size of you, and they're like, yeah, he needs at least 2. Because I think when people
you're so in your own bubble, you think 3 feet of sub is normal.
Yeah,
it's not normal.
Okay, well I've worked in, so I used to manage a coffee shop. Yeah. So we'd get people coming in and ordering food. If somebody came in and ordered and bought 6 paninis, I wouldn't think they're all for them. Okay. I don't think the people.
That's my point.
I don't think they give a fuck. I don't think they even cross their mind.
I don't think they give a fuck either. I'm saying you though. I think it's funny that you think it's normal.
I think but me going to a restaurant and ordering like the largest steak with an extra potato and all that's a bit the same.
Yeah, no, it's not. It doesn't matter what they think. You're missing my point. Okay. I think it's funny that in your head, you think everybody orders 3 feet of sub.
No, I don't think that. I've been like this my whole life. My friends from when we were kids, all of my friends I grew up with, always like take the piss out of me for spending my money on food.
Why is it?
I always if I got like £10 when I was a kid, I'd go to McDonald's and buy 10 cheeseburgers.
I know we talked about this, and I was the exact same way. Now,
and that's why 3 feet of sub. I'm like, man.
Okay, but I've been trying to figure this out my whole life. I think when I was growing up, we were poor. So my parents never, ever, like my mom homemade all our food. Like we never ordered pizza. We never, nothing.
I think we had McDonald's once a month or once a week. I can't remember.
So you think that's why we're fucked? Like we're just like rebelling against like our childhoods?
No, I just have a massive appetite. And I know that if I'm going to eat a Subway, if I eat one Subway, I'm like,
no, but like, for example, my friends, if they're going to cheat, they find like quality food to cheat with.
Oh, sometimes I do. But
I like the disgusting, like just shit.
Sometimes I just love like a sloppy Joe. I don't even know what sloppy Joe is.
Yeah, I do. Oh, you don't know what it is?
I don't know what it is.
It's just like ground beef on a fucking bun and like it's sauce.
Yeah, I thought that would. I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to say it because I was wrong. But like, yeah, the fucking like anything like that, just a big meaty, cheesy, sloppy sandwich.
If you didn't know what it was, why did you say what it was?
Because I was trying to say sloppy, and then I couldn't think of what I was going to say, and I just said Joe because I didn't know that's kind of sandwich.
This is a sloppy Joe.
Yeah. Look at it.
It looks delicious.
It does, doesn't it? A sloppy Joe.
Yeah. See, this is the kind of shit I like. It's just gross.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just. Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's from like my childhood because my mom, like, I remember my mom saying to my dad one time, it's like for some reason stuck out in my head. She said to my dad, hey, we got our income. You got the income check this month. You got money back on his income tax return or whatever. He's like, can we, let's order a pizza in for the family this time. I won't make it. And my dad is like, no, if I order a pizza, we're going to be living on the street. He's like, you can make the pizza. And it was just like, he was that strict about it. Like my mom made everything. And then every once in a while, my mom would sneak away with like $5 and take me to Taco Bell. And that was she'd be like, "We have $5. Let's go to Taco Bell." And she didn't tell any of my brothers. It was like our secret.
Just because you were a fat little disgrace.
I was such a fat fucking kid.
Fatty food.
I wasn't fat though as a kid. I was really fucking skinny.
I've just always had a really big appetite. Just on my, I think that's my appetite's a lot less now than when I was younger. We've discussed that as well. When I was a kid, like my breakfast I'd have like 12 slices of toast.
I think I was jealous of all my friends because my friends all had money. And they would always have like really cool lunches and shit and like fucking they could eat it.
There's always been that dick that has like, all the designer lunchbox, you prick. And I've like the Dairy Lunchables and I'll have all the Pepper Army and all this stuff.
I went through a Lunchables phase.
I'd still have a Lunchables today.
I remember early in my career, like early when I was bodybuilding, one of the things I used to love was I'd get like a whole bunch of Lunchables. I would sit there honestly and put together the cheese and the meat and the cracker and just watch a movie while I smashed like.
It's not a bad thing to do. It's like they're designed for kids, but they're brilliant. Like cheese strings. So cheese strings.
Yep.
They're amazing. Just sit there with some cheese strings, just peeling cheese and eating it.
Have you ever eaten a brick of cheese? Have you sat and eaten a brick of cheese?
Yes.
You know, people think that's really fucked up, right?
It is fucked up. It is. I was probably high as shit.
I wasn't high. I was sober.
I don't. When I was a kid, I used to sneak off into the kid because when I was one of the houses we lived in when I was very, very young, my bedroom had two doors. It went onto the landing or it went into the conservatory, which connected to the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I kind of had two doors, but that was behind a curtain. So I'd open the curtain, I'd go into the conservatory, sneak into the kitchen, cut off like half the cheese, sneak back to my room with it, and just eat cheese in bed. And I remember doing it once, and I came back into my room. My parents were just stood by my bed with their arms folded, like a cheese man. I was like, fuck.
I remember the first time I did that, my fucking wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, was like, "You're just gonna eat a brick of cheese? What the fuck are you doing?"
Cheese is brilliant.
I think it's because I don't have it that often. Like, it's not in my diet.
Yeah, like that's like me at Christmas. I'm like, I'm just going to eat a whole plate of cheese with one cracker.
The deli meat trays and have a whole cheese.
Fucking amazing. Yeah, I think cheese is quite a winter thing. But in the winter, I love cheese. I love cheese.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never considered winter or summer. I just know that I don't have it in my diet regularly.
Yeah. No, to me, it's like because it reminds you of Christmas because of the cheese boards. So I like putting a film on in front of the fire. Loads of meats, olives, chutneys, loads of cheeses, a couple of different types of bread, maybe a bottle of red. Oh, yeah, fucking amazing.
It sounds pretty good.
It does.
I'm hungry now. I'm gonna end up every time we do this podcast now. I end up cheating afterwards.
Well, that's because you have no
control.
Yeah, that's not. Don't blame that.
I'm trying to get big. I finally broke 280 again. I'm like, one thing Dexter said when somebody asked Dexter why him, I think he was like 47 or something at the time. He said, they said, why are you able to keep going? And Kevin Levrone had such a tough time coming back. And Dexter said, because he stopped.
Yeah, that's true.
And I wonder sometimes, when you stop and you're young, your muscle memory is like real quick. You can get back to work and everything fills back out. I wonder, because I'm 41 now, I wonder if like that 6 months I kind of like.
No. You didn't stop completely. Like Kevin stopped.
No, but I'm also not like as bad as Kevin was. I'm saying like, but I'm wondering if that's why I'm having trouble coming back.
But you're like 281 and you're not fat at all.
Yeah, but it looks different. It's a different 281.
Yeah, maybe, but you're not young anymore. So.
What are you saying? What are you saying? It's not going to come back?
No, I think like people's physiques just look different when they're older.
Yeah.
You're probably, you might not be as round and bubbly, but I bet you'll be way more straight.
But it was just last May though. Like if I showed you pictures from just last May, you'd be like, holy fuck. Like that's not, I posted a picture. You actually commented on it. It was just last May. So it's not like I'm so old that like there's such a gap. It was just literally a year ago. I think it's because of time off, because I wasn't training as hard and I wasn't on any gear for like good 5-6 months.
But it could be just due to your age. It might just take a little bit longer.
Yeah,
but it doesn't. But I think it's not taking as long as you think it is.
Yeah, it's always worse for
Because in your head, you're like you think you look shit, but if you showed the pictures side by side, they'll be like, well, there's really not much in it.
Yeah. Huh. We'll see.
Sorry, the dog is scratching at the door.
Let him in. We have 1 million questions to get to.
1 million? It's only about 200. Fuck me.
Okay. Well, we never get to all of them anyway. I actually picked some out, but if you see some that you want to answer, go ahead. Oh, we missed one last week. Do you use a CPAP?
We did miss one.
Well, we missed a bunch. But there was one Missy Trescott asked, and she's, I don't know if you know who Missy Trescott is. She's like second at the Olympia. Mm-hmm. Do you use a CPAP machine or no?
I'm going to start using it again. I do it in the off season. Yeah.
What is it? Is it a Philips Dreamweaver one, or what is it?
I think it is. Yeah. Yes. It's a Philips. It's a APAP actually.
Okay. Well, I don't know how much you know about it, but I don't like mine. I set myself, and I don't think I set it properly. But she wants some advice on how to set it.
Okay, I've got an APAP, so it's automatic. It regulates itself to my breathing.
Oh, really?
So it matches my breathing.
So you don't have to set how much pressure or anything?
No, it does it like so like the heavier and fatter and more disgusting and slobby I am and the less I can breathe, the harder the machine will work.
The harder it pushes.
Yeah, and the lighter I get, it just seems to like get to the point where it uses less and less and less.
Why doesn't everybody have these? Why do they?
I think they're relatively new.
Oh, okay.
Maybe like a lot of the health services haven't kind of caught up with it. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, but, so we're both useless. I actually told Missy that Stan Efferding is the expert on the Dreamweaver.
I think there may be an app as well. You can track your sleep, and then it'll give you readings, or you can track.
I know, but the Dreamweaver, the Dreamweaver machine has like a ramp function where you set the pressure, but then it like ramps up and down according to your breathing, kind of like you're talking about. It's kind of tricky to set up. That's all. So I didn't know if you knew.
No, so. That's why I bought an APAP, because I was like.
Yeah, well, I wish if I would have known, I would have got one. That's way fucking easier.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Do you have the face or the nose? I've got a nose one now.
I don't have I have my mouth exposed. I have just the nose. Yeah, like it's a triangle covers like.
Mine's almost like a fabric balloon.
Really?
It like goes over my nose, and then when I breathe, it inflates. And it's like it's not hard. It's soft.
Does it seal properly though?
Yeah, it seals when you're in place. It kind of seals around it. Yeah, it's really good.
Mine's always fucking leaking like into my eyes and shit.
That pisses me off. Sometimes it does, like if I'm moving, it'll just go, just blowing a cold air into my eye. And you start, then in the night, you're like,
I hate wearing it, man. I keep trying.
It just, the blowing into the eye in the night, that my face one was doing that. So I changed it.
Because I've been trying to sleep on my back because my back bothers me if I sleep on my stomach. When I wake up in the morning, my back's fucked up.
You can sleep. I can't even fucking sleep on my stomach. I've never slept on my stomach.
I only sleep on my stomach.
Oh really? I've never.
Like on my side stomach, kind of. It's weird, but anyway, if I sleep on my back, I wake up feeling like my back is fine, and with the thing, I can because it keeps my mouth shut, so I don't choke on my own fucking tongue or whatever. Yeah. But I can't keep it on for more than like an hour.
Really?
I end up like I'll pass out and then I end up like peeling it off and I wake up on my stomach. I'm like,
well, you see, mine, I sleep way deeper when I have it on.
Do you still get up to piss a lot when you're wearing it?
Yeah.
See,
not always. It's probably less, but I just get a far deeper sleep.
See, I talked to a couple guys that use it. They're like, man, now ever since I started using it, I don't even get up to go to the bathroom anymore. I sleep like 8 hours straight. And I'm like, I've never experienced that.
I always get up for a piss at least once in the night. I think that's it. But it might not be the night. Sometimes about 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
That doesn't really change because my water's the same most days.
Maybe I need to try. Send me the link to your fucking thing. Maybe I'll try a different mask. Okay. All right. Let's get to some of these. There's a bunch, so let's try and go relatively fast. Even though we never.
Let's go.
Do you guys think it's time for a change of the old guard, meaning guys like Sean Ray, etc.? I would rather hear newer pros commenting on current bodybuilders than the guys now. Luke did a great job. I also think Fouad, if not competing, would be excellent. As a bodybuilding fan, I'm getting tired of the old guys bashing everything but their generation. No positivity at all.
It would just happen organically.
Would it though? Because I feel like...
Well, yeah, because I replaced Sean Ray at the Arnold and they've asked me to do it next year. I said no because I'm competing. So
but you're competing at the Arnold's.
Yeah, that's why I said no.
Oh, okay.
So like, I think it's just it will just be at the moment. Sean Ray's the only one doing it because he's the only one doing it. If there were other people saying I'll do it, and there were people with a voice willing to do it, they could do it. But
I said I'll do it.
Exactly.
I don't think that's the case. I think
no, but I think you're more likely to get it like by kind of asking for it. I don't think anyone else is trying to do it, so they're not willing to ask anyone else because no one else is saying, "Oh, I'll do it."
I don't know if that's true. I feel like those guys are kind of all friends with the promoters and that, so they kind of get chosen, right?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but that's not the way. That's not always the case.
Well, listen, if you weren't sponsored by Redcon, I don't know if you'd have got that gig.
Likely not, no.
But that's my point. You either have to be connected that way, or you have to be like, Dennis James is friends with Bob Ciccarello, so he comes into the Olympia. They do the hosting thing together.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of that in it,
right?
But let's just say if they ask me and I say, "Well, no, choose Fouad instead," that might work.
I don't think it'll work. I don't think, like, if I message Dan Solomon, I don't think he'd be like, "Oh yeah, sure, go ahead." They're just it's kind of like incestuous that way in our sport sometimes. Like, you have to really be like,
yeah, maybe. I don't know, because I did it at the Arnold, so I'm sitting here like, well, how the fuck did I do it then?
Yeah, but we know why. But we know why you did it.
Yeah, no, yeah, right? But I don't think
you had a connection. That's why, right?
The connection is what brought my name. I think they wanted somebody else anyway, and
yeah.
Aaron, Luke will do it, because Aaron wasn't supposed to do it.
No, I got you 100%.
Yeah. So I think it was I think you are right, but but why can't you be one of those guys?
Well, I don't have like Redcon sponsors the Olympia or the Arnolds or whatever, and they sponsor a lot of shows. So they have, and Aaron's actually connected to a lot of the promoters. So Aaron has enough say and pull to be able to, like, hey, you know what, we'll fill the spot.
Yeah, maybe.
And then when they look, they're like, okay, well, Luke knows the sport, and Aaron's put him forward. Let's do it.
I actually said it to him on the plane. I said, "Oh, Fouad and I should have done this." He was like, "Yeah, that would have been." He said, "That would have been cool." And I think if I pitched it to him early enough, I don't think Aaron wanted to do it. I think Aaron would have way rather have watched it.
I don't know if I want to do it, because it's really, people are gonna fucking flame you regardless of how good you are.
I got all right away with it. I was all right. I think I had 3 people that had a go at me for something. Somebody had a go at me for the saying about the most muscular statue, and somebody thought that Cedric and I had a problem.
But you get away with a lot of shit that I wouldn't get away with.
Yeah, well, that's because you're...
I'm an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, but as far as what he's saying about it doesn't matter who does it. I guess the point he's trying to make is the older generation is just shitting all over bodybuilding all the time.
Okay, well, I know that Aaron, after the Arnold, Johnny Styles, who works for Redcon 1, he used to work for RX Muscle. He also helps us with the live feeds that we've been doing, James and I.
Yeah.
So he's very good at live feeds. And because Aaron, as you said, he does sponsor a lot of shows. He's one of the main NPC sponsors as well. Yeah. I think that Redcon are planning, and it won't be, I don't think it'll be under Redcon 1, but they want to start live streaming all the shows. All of the pro shows. So if that's the case, it's not going to really... It could kind of be anyone, because they're not the big shows. So say there's the Toronto Pro, Redcon are a big sponsor of Toronto, you could do that. And if you're good enough and they think you're good enough, why couldn't you move up to the Olympia?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, obviously, but that's not...
So I think there's ways... I think it's going to happen, but I think a lot of it's to do with the technology, because at the moment, it's only the very, very big ones.
Wait a minute. The point I think he's trying to make, and the point we need to answer is the last generation, it doesn't matter who does it. I don't care if even the older guys do it.
Yeah.
The point is, are they doing a disservice to bodybuilding by always knocking it?
Maybe. And I'm trying to give this guy a bit of optimism, saying it will change.
Yeah.
And I think there's already plans and action behind the scenes, not to get these guys out, but
just to do more.
New. To bring something new, and like Sean Ray's not going to fucking want to do the Tampa Pro or the fucking London one over here in London, but say like the one in Toronto, they would probably get somebody like you to do it. Someone
local,
somebody like, and I think that's how Bob Chick does the Olympia now, because he worked his way up.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's going to take. But to start that, somebody needs to start, and hopefully that's what Aaron and Johnny are kind of going to start doing.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking awesome. How good would that be if because all fights, most sporting events are streamed or even shown or televised. So why it's not difficult to set up a couple of cameras and just stream it.
Yeah,
it's not that difficult.
The cool thing about it is, I don't think there's like any one place you can go to get footage from any shows. Like, you have to go to like all these different Instagram pages to get information when a show goes on, if it's not the Arnold or the Olympia.
It'd be very cool if like, it would be very cool if like the IFBB Pro League or somebody, or there was like a new, or even Dan Solomon's like he does, what is it, his site's called, Dan Solomon has a site, doesn't he? Digital Muscle.
No, isn't that, I thought that was Sean Ray's site.
I thought Dan Solomon had Digital Muscle. I'm pretty sure that's his.
Oh, okay.
So it would be cool if there was just like one place where the shows were streamed.
Yeah.
And or even if there's somebody opened a YouTube channel that was just IFBB Pro shows streaming, and that was just the one place they were all streamed.
that's what I mean. Like if there was one place you could go to, that would be.
I don't believe there's probably not going to be any money in free streaming.
No.
So for people trying to fight this, which website should have it, I think that would be a bit silly because there's no money in it.
Well, there is money. There's money in it for the. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, for sponsors. But
that's right.
But the sponsors can have commercials on the videos and they can have their logos on the videos.
Yeah, and that's how they're.
Yeah, but so it doesn't have to go on their channels. It should be on one place, and then their sponsors are sponsors of the videos. Like if Redcon are sponsoring, they'll have a logo on the video, they'll have commercials on the video, and their logo will be on stage like everyone else's. Yeah,
but I'm saying if the person that does the live feed wants to make money, they would just sell advertising space on the channel.
Yes, but what I mean is they don't have to. It doesn't mean it has to go on Redcon's channel, even though they're sponsoring.
No.
Or if Hostile is sponsoring, it doesn't need to go on the Hostile channel.
That's right.
Because that confuses the viewers. So I think if everyone's got one place, and I think everyone could benefit from streaming, to be fair. And I don't think it's expensive to do, and I don't think it's quite as difficult. And it doesn't have to be over the top. It can be very simple. Yeah. A couple of cameras, doesn't even need a commentator sometimes.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, you can just have the show.
As long as it's good quality, so the camera's like it's street. So
I think a commentator is important though, because a lot of times people are watching bodybuilding shows that they're not sure what they're looking at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't always need a commentator.
No, I agree, but I'd
rather it did, but it doesn't always have to. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of education that goes kind of like I think of like when Joe Rogan started doing UFC.
Yeah.
A lot of what he does is education, even though he does it like with a good flow, and while you're watching it, you don't realize it, but you're being educated.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to kind of have the same thing if we're going to have bodybuilding doing that, but
we'll see. I mean, it's certainly something I've heard being talked about.
Yeah. So, all right. Jason D. Baker says, how much of a factor are the costs of bodybuilding in deciding to compete? And does it keep some great physiques from reaching their potential?
I would imagine it does. I think in terms of, for us, competing is our job. So in terms of the finances, it's kind of already accounted for as part of our lives. But I do know a lot of people that do struggle to compete because of budget constraints.
Yeah. I think a lot of people when they're coming up have to make a decision.
Yeah.
Like the guy that got me started, that the studio I'm training at, he had a great physique. He quit at like 21 or 22 because he's like, I just don't have the money and I'm not making anything from this.
Yeah.
So he quit before he turned pro or anything because he's like, so I think it does.
Yeah. For me, it was always like I had my jobs to pay for it. So I thought if I keep working at it naively, I'll make something out of it, and I did. So
yeah,
it's
a factor.
It can be. It's not. It doesn't have to be quite as expensive as it's made out to be.
It's going to be expensive, dude.
It is, but it is. No, of course it is.
Yeah.
But I think any hobby, if you do it to an extreme, like golf, can be way more expensive depending on the level you're at.
You can collect hockey cards for pretty cheap. I'm just saying, like, it's not
no,
every
I know,
hobby.
Of course. I know that, but I'm saying if you're like,
if I want to play soccer, what do I need? A pair of cleats and a fucking soccer ball.
That's not the same. You have to play for a team. Like, it's not the same. If you, let's say you're a gamer or you're into skateboarding, you're in BMXing, you're into anything, it's going to cost money. If when I was into skateboarding, I'd have to change my deck every week at least. New wheels every couple of weeks, bearings pop all the time. I need them all the time. If you're into cars.
Yeah, okay, fine. If you want to be, then the statement really is if you want to be a professional at anything, it's going to cost you money.
Exactly. Absolutely. To get there. So any hobby is going to cost money, but bodybuilding doesn't have to be any more expensive than, say, golf or really anything. If you're a gamer, say you're a PC gamer, that's fucking expensive. So,
is it?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't. The only reason I brought it up is because my son wants to build his own PC for gaming.
Yeah.
He's having a laugh. It's fucking expensive.
Really?
I'm gonna have to send him down a coal mine to pay for it, I think.
Well, you're good though. You got the Yeah,
but it's not up to me to
you got the big
I'm
bucks.
I'm not fucking paying him. Like everyone's furloughed at the moment. We're in a pandemic. But it's but what I mean is it's like anything you want to take to the stream. Like when I used to collect Warhammer when I was younger, it was expensive, but I made it work within my means. And with bodybuilding, I made it work within my means.
I still think some things are cheaper. Like when I was coming up,
100%. But what I'm trying to say is, it's like you don't have to be like, oh, my first show, I need 6 boxes of Increlex. It doesn't need to be like that. You don't need to be.
There are ways to get better without. Yeah,
there's
I know
ways to get better.
Yeah.
There's places, certain places you can shop. Like pick and choose. Like drugs can be relatively inexpensive, depending on what you choose or what division you're doing.
That's true.
You can make it a lot cheaper.
You know it is true. Now that you say that, it does get more expensive the better you get.
Yeah, it does.
Like you don't need. Like if I take 8 IUs of GH to get ready for a show, you don't need 8 IUs of GH to get ready for your first show. And if you do, you probably shouldn't be bodybuilding.
No, so my first show didn't cost me really anything more than.
It's not the drugs though. It's the food that costs more.
Yeah,
money
I know. But that's what I'm saying. If you go to a butcher, I went to a butcher for my first show.
Yeah.
And it was 10 times cheaper than the supermarket. And because I was regular, and I built up a rapport with him, we had a really good deal in place, and he's one of my friends to this day. Yeah. And I just think, depending on where you shop, you could literally a butcher will give you a much better deal. If you say I'm a bodybuilder, I'm going to buy you 10 pounds of meat every week. They're going to do the deal.
You know what kind of shit I used to do to save money? I used to get the shittiest cut of meat to eat, like on the grill, is like inside or outside round. Yeah. You guys have inside or outside round? You call it that there?
I think it's called something else, but yeah.
IIFYM round or something like that. Anyway, it's like really tough because it's really, really lean. Mm-hmm. But I used to buy like 20 pounds of it, and I just have them fucking grind it all up.
Yeah.
So I was just, and then you're only paying like $2 a pound for fucking like red meat. So
there's ways around it, and it's like gyms. It's like if you're on a real budget and the gym you want to train at is like $70 a month, or you can train at one of the other like 24-hour gyms. It's like $12 a month. You can still train in the other. It has what you need.
Yeah.
It's you kind of got to pick and choose what's the priorities. What I mean is it doesn't have to be getting ready for the Olympia.
I always picked food. Food for me was always a priority. Like if I had, like, you know, a lot of people like they'll buy clothes every month, or like they buy a new fucking pair of shoes every month. I never had all that shit, but I always had all the food I needed. So,
well, going back to hobbies being expensive, drums is fucking expensive.
Yeah. I can see that.
And I was quite lucky because a lot of my equipment I was given for free for endorsements and things, but like just buying sticks, they're like $12, $15 a pair.
Can I ask you a question about the sticks? Are they supposed to look chewed up as fuck?
No, that's just that's just what happens to them.
Okay,
so when you first get them, they're super smooth and they're like lacquered, mate. They're like they're just
like a dildo. Like it's nice and smooth and
just very small dildo, very thin dildo. But they get chewed up because obviously you're hitting cymbals, you're hitting the rims, you're hitting stuff. They get chewed.
Okay, because my wife,
I've got a ton of sticks down there that are just snapped and chewed to shit.
My wife looked at mine after, like, when I first got the drum set and I was like trying to learn. She's like, I don't think those are supposed to look like that.
I'll tell you what. Let me go and grab one of my sticks. This is I've got my bag I've got my stick bag down there from the one I used to use for tours. All right. It's literally just behind me.
Okay.
And I've got a little hack that I used to use for drumsticks.
All right, go. What do you guys want to look at while we're waiting for Luke?
I'm only here. Fuck me.
All right. We're looking at more of Luke's shit.
Yes.
Let's see who's on my Instagram today.
You hear all this?
Logan Guthrie. This guy's got a great physique. You guys got to see this guy. We just picked this guy up for Hostile. Great classic physique.
He looks awesome.
Look at that physique. This kid's like 25 or some shit.
Wow.
Right? Look at this.
It's a good signing.
Look at this.
Yeah. That's a phenomenal signing. Well done.
Yeah. Anyway, show me the sticks.
Tennis racket grip.
What? Why?
Because why?
Is it easier to use?
Oh, because my whole hands would be bleeding every night from blisters popping and splitting and calluses. And I refuse to wear gloves, so I'm not fucking doing that.
Why? There's guys that wear gloves to drum?
So I didn't always. I normally only had it with my right hand.
Yeah.
And you can get like grip tape for sticks. Yeah. It's not the same. And this is tennis. This is from a tennis racket.
So that's your hack.
This is a Yonex wrap, and they are on it. I loved playing with these.
All right, so all you drummers out there that are watching.
Oh, I'm gonna get so much shit for this, but this is
why? Why?
Because that's like bodybuilders. It's like me wearing gloves. It's like us wearing gloves.
Oh, that's like it's not allowed.
It's not okay. But that's just these. This was when we were like touring and playing a lot, and my hands would get.
Look at that one. That was. Let me see that close up.
That's fucked.
Holy fuck!
That's
yeah, mine are fine compared to that.
Yeah. Oh no, this is like this. I've probably used this for one show.
Holy shit!
That's probably. And then
when you say show, how many people are watching?
Between like 500 and 2,000.
So you were like pretty good.
Yeah, but like sometimes we'd play larger shows if we were supporting a bigger band. But a lot of the time,
what's the biggest stage? What's the biggest crowd you ever played in front of?
7,000-8,000.
So you guys weren't like some fucking garage band.
No, we kind of were, but we just got very like in bodybuilding. I've just been very lucky. Like we just got some quite lucky breaks and stuff, and we got some good. We knew a lot of good people.
Yeah.
But yeah, but with sticks, like, and it's the same with bodybuilding. It's like, so like, gloves are frowned upon, but if my hands were chewed to fuck, I'd wear them.
Yeah.
If I had to. But they were like a last resort on tour, or like if it was like if we do like 7 or 8 shows in a row, by day 5, my hands are fucked. I'm just holding a stick, like it's horrible. It would just So I think if I played, because our band wasn't metal at all.
Yeah.
At all. I'd like metal for me. Drumming metal is new.
Yeah.
So if I was a metal drummer on tour, I would definitely get the tennis racket grips out.
Yeah, it's a lot harder, right?
Oh, it's fucking hard. Especially because with metal drummer, I use thicker sticks as well. So they're heavier, they're thicker, they're longer.
They're different sticks, really.
Yeah, they're a 5B. For metal, I use a 2B.
Why is that? I don't understand. Why would they use that?
Like certain genres, like depending on what you're comfortable with. Like you wouldn't use big, thick 2B sticks to play jazz.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I think I
understand.
It's
like guitars. It's like you depending on the thickness of the pick you use, the thickness of the strings, the gauges. It kind of depends.
Do you ever try to learn how to play guitar or no?
I've tried a lot. I can't do it. Bass, I kind of was okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have to do chords. I got big fat fucking hands.
There's no decks.
And I like a piano. I couldn't wrap my head around that. So I could kind of play a few songs, like a few tunes, but I couldn't get it.
Yeah, it's crazy how you would think if somebody has a talent for music, it'd be kind of across the board.
Yeah, but there's a talent for music, or there's music and there's rhythm. I think they're quite different.
Okay.
So
drums are more rhythm.
Drums is rhythmic.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
When people dance in music, you're dancing to the drums and the bass. That's that's the rhythm part of the music. The parts of the band that make you do this or whatever, that is the drums.
All right, let's go on. This is actually a good question. I'm really curious to know what your answer is.
Right.
Life and death situation. Your wife or girlfriend has to cheat on you with one guy from the bodybuilding industry.
Wife or girlfriend, so I have to pick one.
No, if you have a wife or a girlfriend.
I'm not Craig.
They have to cheat on you with one guy from the bodybuilding industry or you die. Who would you choose and why?
I don't know.
I thought you were going to say Evan.
No. No, because I don't think I'll get him back. It would have to be someone just like a complete little weedle.
I was going to say, would it be like a 212 guy maybe?
No, because they've got muscle. It'd be like a little weedy men's physique prick.
Oh, okay.
The only men's physique guy, no, they're not even pricks. You know, most of them are really nice, but there's a couple of them that are dicks. And I don't know their names because I would say it. I just don't know what they're called. Yeah. Because Dallas nearly fucking slammed one of them against the wall.
I know who that guy is, but I'm not going to say his name.
And it's like probably one of those little pricks.
Really?
Because then afterwards I can be like, right, come back here, love. Let's show you.
I'm trying to think of a bodybuilder that I trust that. No,
it would just have to be someone that's either
that wouldn't defile my wife.
Yes, it's either you'd have to be very trustworthy or just nowhere near the level of what your missus likes.
I see what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? Like something like a little, like Sarah. If I said,
what if you were guaranteed they would come back?
It would either. I don't mind. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's a weird question.
It's a really tough question.
It's a weird question. It would probably be either somebody that I know she wouldn't like, or somebody that I would trust, and that would be nice to them. I guess it's a weird question.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I can't really. The first one that came to mind. This is gonna sound so bad, but
because you know we cook.
Because I'm
dinner.
like, Because I'm like, he's going to give her back. I'm like, I know he'll give her back.
And it'll be a nice.
He'll be like apologetic. He'll be like, look, dude, I'm sorry I got to do this, but we got to make sure you don't die. I'm going to do this for you. And he would probably just do it like quick and easy, get it over with, and then give her back.
I don't know if he would.
You think he would like go crazy?
I just think he'd ruin her. It's like, I think Evan's like he's too nice. And I think he's got that like dark side to him that we don't know about.
After he's done, he's like, I changed my mind. I'm keeping her. Fuck off.
Yeah, or you just give her back and she's never the same again. Fuck's sake, Dad. We need to get Evan on as a guest.
I was gonna ask him today.
I think Evan would just be quite embarrassed.
I think you would just fucking be like, you'd be like a fanboy for an hour and a half straight.
I've spoken to Evan a lot, so I don't know, but I think it'd just be funny because I've never, in this scenario, I've never heard him have a conversation like this.
I've never heard him talk about this kind of shit either. That's why I'd be.
That's why I'd say I want to be like, Evan, anal, talk to me, go. Would you like it? What?
He won't.
I bet he wouldn't talk about it on the camera, but I bet behind the scenes, but yeah, fucking love it.
Yeah, if we turn the thing off.
Yeah, this
is the same conversation we had about Jay, remember? And you're like, if we have Jay on, we can ask him about
I phoned Jay afterwards. I was like, Jay, do you like smashing bitches in the bum? And he was like, yeah. And then I hung up. Cheers, Jay. My mate Jason.
Okay, next. I'm definitely not a pro bodybuilder, but in my opinion, it becomes a dick measuring contest when guys talk about taking out minuscule things in your diet. A tablespoon of sugar isn't going to be the deciding factor in you getting shredded or not. I completely fucking disagree.
A tablespoon of sugar will fucking dictate whether you get shredded or not, mate.
This is why
a tablespoon of sugar. If you said a pack of stevia, I'd be like, yeah, you're right. It wouldn't make a difference. But the tablespoon of fucking sugar.
Should I go on the profile?
Unless you're using it to make the medicine go down.
We probably shouldn't do that. I was going to go on a profile live to see who the fuck asked that question. Because
I'll just go on my phone.
I can guarantee you it's not a bodybuilder because or it's not somebody who competes. Because if you compete, you probably measure everything to the fucking gram. So it does fucking matter, especially like at the end in your last week, your last 2 weeks. Those things do matter. So
yeah, I've just had another delivery. I've had more plates done.
What are you getting delivered? More? How fucking strong?
I got some more plates and stuff delivered.
Let me check something.
Where's is it on your profile?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got it. Okay, it's because you posted it with the. Okay, got it.
1 second here.
I know what he's saying, and it's like his heart's in the right place, and he's saying that certain minutiae won't make a difference, and for a lot of people they don't. But if you're not getting shredded, take that tablespoon of sugar out. It's
if he's commenting on the actual video that was posted, then he's right. I don't think a fucking Splenda in your oatmeal makes you a shit bodybuilder.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. But it's like if you're covering your food, like unless you're Ronnie and you can get away with having a litre of Masterpiece barbecue sauce on your chicken, like 90% of people won't be able to get away with a lot of things like that.
I'm going to try something and tell me if you disappear. I'm still here, right? You can still see me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to try and invite this person to come on. This is going to be...
Have you actually asked? What person?
This is either going to be a disaster or it's going to be great.
All right, go on.
So I asked this girl if she wanted to come on and ask her question live.
Right. Is it a girl?
Yeah.
The dogs. The wicket. Come here. What you did?
So she said yes. So I just sent her an invite.
Okay.
So she's going to ask her question.
Right.
And then we have to ask her the Bodybuilding Bollocks quick questions that we asked Stelly.
Yeah, go on.
But those were, can we ask a girl? Like one of them was like ass or pussy. So you have to say like ass or dick. Like when you're looking at a guy, do you look at his ass or the bulge?
There you go. That's what I was about to say.
Okay, so
I'm a bulge.
And then we asked Batman or Superman. Does that still apply?
I just think if you say Superman, just fuck off.
Okay, wait. And then
like Superman's great, but who is choosing Superman?
Wait a minute. Then we asked Oprah or Ellen. So we could change it to like Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel.
You can do what you like, mate, because I don't know who any of these people are.
You don't know who Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel are?
I know the names. I don't know what they look like.
They're like the Late Show hosts.
Yes, I don't live in the United States of America. I live thousands of miles away on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, but don't you guys have like our TV?
Have you got Jonathan Ross where you are?
Yes.
Do you have Jonathan Ross? Jonathan Ross is amazing. Do you have Alan Carr? Do you have Graham Norton?
I have Graham Norton. Yes.
Graham Norton's great.
Graham Norton's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have. We don't have any of that. We may have. I've just never seen it on our TVs.
Okay, so what two guys can we use then instead of Oprah and Ellen?
You can say Oprah and Ellen.
Well, she's got to decide. It's like supposed to be for women.
What are you asking the question? Do you prefer the show or do you want to fuck them? What are you asking?
To fuck them.
Okay,
it's supposed to be bodybuilding bollocks.
Jonathan Ross.
Or come up with some other quick ones I can ask her that are gross.
All right, let me just say something, Fouad. You're the one that's organised this.
I haven't organised anything.
And now you're saying, why haven't you got any questions ready?
I'm not.
For fuck's sake, you're the one that said we're getting a live guest. I didn't know this.
Otherwise, I'm not. This is how I like to do things on the fly. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, but then you start panicking because you haven't got.
I'm not panicked at all. It's gonna be fine.
I can see panic in your eyes.
No,
you're in a grey shirt. I can see the sweat patches getting bigger.
It's totally fine. She just wants to come on and ask her question.
All right, what's that question? Where is she?
I don't know. I don't know if she knows how to get on.
Well, you just click the link, don't you?
Yeah, but if she's on her phone, she might have to download the app.
But it shouldn't. It should take seconds, surely.
I'm going to tell her.
She's got Wi-Fi.
Okay. While we're waiting for her, we should think of some quick bollocks questions we can ask her.
I think all of them are bollocks, to be fair.
How about? Do you like it when guys try and pick you up at the gym?
That's a good one.
Have you
literally or got to, like physically pick them up? Or
no, figures. No, like for a date.
I've never done that. Like the gym's the worst place for asking out women, I would imagine.
I tried once a really long time ago, and I fucking burned in flames like horribly, and I never ever did it again.
I've seen videos of me training. I'm like, if I was a female, I wouldn't want that coming up to me. So, what did you do? I think you told the story before.
I think I told the story before. I don't want to tell it again. It was just don't do it.
But you crashing and burning from a female sounds hilarious, and I wish I knew what it was because I can't remember.
Yeah, no, it's not hilarious. It was bad, and I don't want to do it ever. I never did it again. It was it. It was like
it is hilarious. You've got really intense sadness in your eyes.
No, it's not sadness. It's just embarrassment.
That's what I mean. Like you still can't get over the shock of it.
Well, because at that time, not to sound arrogant, but I didn't have a lot of trouble picking up women, and it was just it was very abrupt. Like, what the fuck are you doing, kind of thing. And I'm like, okay. I'm not doing this again at the gym.
I have never been one for trying to chat with women ever. No.
Yeah.
I'm the worst. I don't do it. I don't DM. I don't do any of that shit because I can't. I actually DM.
You DM. You probably DM.
Definitely not.
The DM is the shy guy's.
No, I will reply. I will reply to messages, but I will never be. I'm never.
You've never initiated like
never.
Like, hey, how are you?
I did it once. And I ended up being with her for 5 years. So I'm not doing that again.
No, that's the DM is this era of like connection.
I think it's because if you slide into somebody's DM, you're automatically a prick.
Well, it depends how you slide into someone's DM.
Hey, how are you?
If you send a fucking dick pic, then you're an asshole.
What if it's someone else's dick?
Then that's just funny.
Just send them just you and I just send them like a big black dick. Send them that. Just a close up of that guy from the coronavirus meme. Just that, send them that. How'd you like this?
All right, look, let's go on while we wait for her. In case
we wanted to quickfire these questions and we've done two.
Well, it's your fault.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry.
I already asked you to GoFundMe for changing your name to Anal, which is going to be Anal. So
Anal.
Using a lighter weight for back and just pumping blood is okay, or do you really need to use heavy weight? I'm just going to go ahead, Luke. You can answer this.
I think back is one of the very few body parts you have to kind of load. I don't think there's a way around it.
Yeah, I think that goes for any big body part.
No, I don't think. I don't.
For big body parts,
I don't even agree for chest. I don't think you need to be trying to incline press.
Okay, fine. When I say big body parts, I mean back and legs.
Yeah, but I think
I don't think you can get big legs training light.
Lights, it's different. So I think legs, you can do lots of volume, like 30 reps. It's not that heavy. It's volume. It's a totally different way of doing it. I don't think you can do rows for 30 reps or deadlifts for 30 reps and get a big thick back. I also think with squats, like if you're doing like 4 to 5 reps on squats or leg press and that, I don't think that's going to work either. That's where I think is the slight difference.
I think there has to be some heavy lifting in both body parts. You can't. Yes, you need high volume to grow legs, 100%, but you need to build the strength so you can do the heavy and high volume.
Yeah. But what I'm saying with back, if you're trying to say you're doing heavy pull downs, if you're doing 30 reps, your arms are going to go way before your back. So I don't think a lot of the volume.
No, I'm not saying you need lots of volume for back. I'm saying you need heavy weight for back.
No, there you go. That's what I was saying. So I think it's mostly heavy stuff. Yeah, you need to be able to move the weight efficiently, but like if you think you can get a really good back without doing heavy rows and heavy like pulls, I think you're mistaken. I don't think you just pump and squeeze pull downs and get a nice thick back.
Hi,
here we go. Hello.
Abby, can you hear us?
Hi. Yep, I can hear you. What's up?
Do you think that you have to train legs heavy to grow big legs?
I think it's a mix between heavy and volume, to be honest.
See, yeah, she agrees with me.
Yeah. I agree with you too, you Dick. We're talking about back training. What are you talking about? I just said the question was, if you want a thick back, can you do it with pumping sets, or do you have to do heavy? And you have to right back.
I think it's heavy.
Right, there we go.
I agree with that also. So we all agree.
So why are we arguing about everything?
Because that's how our show goes. We argue about nothing.
Because we're both arguing about how much we agree with each other. Just fucked up.
Hi, Abby. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Good. What's your competitive history? Do you compete, or you just train for fun?
Well, I competed probably 6 months ago. My first show. I've been training
what division?
Real.
What division did you compete in?
It was figure, but I'm trying to go to women's physique.
Okay. So you like doing the heavy training?
Yeah.
That's cool. So where are you now in your training after your first show?
Well, I mean, I'm just taking a long off season right now. I'll probably compete in 2021. I really have to gain more size to get into women's physique. So I have a home gym, so I'm just training with a barbell and a dumbbell and stuff. So
that's awesome.
It's what I can do.
Yeah, you gotta do what you can. Who do you like more, me or Luke?
I like you both. You guys, the two of you together are just on another level.
I'm just joking around. All right, so you asked us a question, and I'm not going to read it. You can go ahead and ask us live what your question was.
Live.
So I was watching a video on John Meadows' YouTube, which is what prompted the question. But he was basically saying how when he was trying to win his pro card, he didn't have the prettiest physique, but for some reason the judges at that show had liked his physique then. And I've heard a lot of other competitors say if you compete at this show, make sure you have a lot of size, versus if you compete at this show, make sure you're super lean. So I guess my question is, have you guys noticed a difference between different shows on how judges judge? Someone could look for somebody to be super lean versus somebody could look for size.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying.
Do you want to go ahead with that first, Luke, or no?
Well, the only times I've never, I think with bodybuilding, men's bodybuilding, it might be different because it's usually whoever's the combination of condition and size and symmetry should win. But there are, I think it's quite obvious that in New York they like the freakier guys. Would you say? Because it's usually the bigger guys that win. And then in California, for example, it's usually the more streamlined physiques that get favored. So again, it might. I don't think that's political. I think it's just the personal preferences of the judges, really. But it doesn't. I don't think it matters to the extent where you have to disregard one or the other to win a certain show. I think for the most part, you just condition win shows for the most part. But I think you can't turn up to New York being a water buffalo and win, and you can't turn up to California with no muscle and win. I still think for the most part it's universal across the board, depending on a couple of areas where they might favor something over another. But not massively.
I think it's going to be much more prevalent because you were in figure before.
Yeah.
Right. When it comes to figure, bikini, men's physique, I think there's more room for variance. Right. But I think when you start getting into women's physique or bodybuilding, the criteria is a little bit more set in stone. So if I was you, and I don't think Luke is wrong at all. There is kind of like, the Olympia is usually a bigger guy show. The Arnold's sometimes a little different. Like there's a little bit of difference even with bodybuilding and women's physique, even though there is more criteria. But as a competitor, I think it's your job just to bring like what you think is your best package.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you from experience, like I posted some video of like a 2008 show I did a little while ago on my Instagram. Had I just kept building on that physique, it would have been much better for me throughout my career than trying to give them what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So like your physique, you have to make your physique the best it will look, and not try and do, oh, well, you know what? If I go do this show in Oklahoma, they like when I'm really, really depleted. So I'm going to come in really depleted. And then you don't really feel like you look good because you're not, you're not yourself. Yeah. But if I go to New York, they like me when I'm really, really big. So then you're really puffy and you might not feel good that way either. So I think as a competitor, to show the confidence you want on stage, you have to just be the best you can be, as cliche as that sounds.
Have you ever, Fouad, have you ever tried to like try and think, I'm going to try a different look this time? It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I have.
Because I've done it, and it's like Tampa, I tried to be drier and harder, and I just looked flat. And then the Olympic Chris was like, we wanted to be bigger, but still in condition, I just looked soft.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the same show for me. And I think it was 2009 Tampa Bay. I was like, you know what? Because the video I actually posted from 2008 was Houston, and the next show after that was Tampa. And I lost Houston because I said I wasn't sharp enough. So I came into Tampa like really, really depleted, but shredded, and then I placed even worse. Yeah. So when it came to Dallas, which was the third show I did that year, that's the advice I'm giving you now. When I did Dallas, I was like, I'm just going to be like the best version of who I can be. Yeah. And I'm not going to worry what the judges think. Because I think if you try and play to a certain judge's want or need, it's very short-sighted. Yeah. If you look at Dexter Jackson, right? Dexter Jackson's been the same Dexter Jackson for 30 years. He got bigger, obviously, but it's the same look every time. And eventually people look at that and go, this guy's Mr. Consistency. We're going to start rewarding that look. You know what I mean? Like it was the best look he could bring. And we're like, we like that look, and he keeps bringing it. And then finally he started winning.
I think you got to play to your strengths as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying.
Like Dorian played to his strengths, which was condition.
Yeah.
Like Jay was always super round. He was never dry like Dorian. Mm-hmm. And it's like if somebody, I always kind of, if you look at say like Victor Martinez, if he tried to just come in grainy, fucking dry, he'd probably lose a lot of what makes him his best.
He'd probably look flat.
Yeah, look just a bit shit compared to what he should do. And I think it's like you just play your own game. Don't try and play other people's games, I guess.
Does that help you at all or no? Abby?
Oh, what?
Does that?
Sorry, I'm just like listening and just.
You forgot you were on the show.
Yeah, I guess so. I was watching for a second. Sorry.
No, I was asking, does that kind of help you? Like, does it help answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think I always think just play your own game. Be your best.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, as Fouad said, if you try and follow criterias, you're not going to be your best because you're trying to emulate something that isn't you sometimes.
Right. So you shouldn't be. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So you shouldn't be like scared about going into a show because of what the judges have judged on before, or you should just
no, because they're what they judged on before. They only judge what was in front of them. So your lineup that you're doing might be just totally different lineup.
That's
so
true.
They'll have to judge it differently. So that's why a lot of the time they say, oh, they prefer. So they might, like New York, they might say, oh, they prefer bigger physiques in New York because bigger physiques always win. I was like, well, maybe that's because bigger physiques always go to that show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It could be that. So I think that's why you should always just be your best.
Yeah, right. Luke's right. You're always going to be judged against like who you're standing next to. So that's why I keep saying, like, in my opinion, you got to just be the best you can be. Like, get as shredded as you can be. Nail your prep, your peak week or whatever, and show up the best you know how. And then I really think it's tough to try and guess what the judges want, especially because of what Luke said. Is like, what if you think they want small people and then the whole lineup comes in big, and you're the only small person there? You're going to look like the odd man out, and you're probably not going to place well, right? So it's better to kind of do your best and let the judges worry about afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think for male bodybuilders, and maybe the same for women's physique. I think certainly for male bodybuilders, certainly for me, the only thing that matters to me is getting rid of all of my body fat. That's it. Mm-hmm. If you're fat free, the rest of it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I've never thought like I actually don't think I've ever thought like, oh, I'm going to go do the Arnold's, I better look like this. I always just look at my physique at the start of the off season. I'm like, okay, my arms are shit or my legs are shit or whatever it is. And I try and build that. And then when I'm dieting, I'm just worried about getting shredded. I've never thought to myself like, you know, they want me to look this way or that way. I can only look the way I look. You know what I mean?
Well, do you ever do that for like when you look at the competitors at the shows too? Like, okay, these people, I know that they're going to come in looking like this. Should I do something different?
Well, it might be different in men's bodybuilding, but like if I'm doing the Arnold, and if I'm doing the Arnold and I know, you know, Luke's doing it and Juan Morel's doing it and Lionel Beck is doing it, I'm like, okay, my only choice is to come in as big and hard as I can come in.
Which is what you should do at every show you do.
That's it. Yeah. Like there's no like, you know, if the lineup is like a whole bunch of Patrick Moores, I'm not going to try and look like Patrick Moore because it's going to make me look like shit because I don't have that kind of physique. You know what I mean? Like if you try and do something that your physique's not built for, you'll end up looking worse, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, before you go though, I want to ask you some bodybuilding bollocks questions.
Okay.
Are you prepared?
Of course. I think so. Yeah. As I can be.
All right. We'll start with some of these are kind of geared to men. So I'm going to try and change them.
Just fucking
okay. It doesn't matter.
Abby, you've come on this show, you know what to expect.
Yeah, exactly. Just go. I've been watching for long enough.
Just go there. People know what to expect.
We'll start with the easy ones. Five Guys or McDonald's?
Five Guys, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Car, truck, or motorcycle?
Motorcycle.
Motorcycle, really?
Yeah. I ride dirt bikes, so.
Okay. Do you like what kind of motorcycle? Like a crotch rocket or a Harley?
Like more like a crotch rocket. I mean, I ride dirt bikes, so I don't really ride actual motorcycles like road bikes, but
okay.
Like I just ride in my backyard, so.
But if you could buy either of the three, any car, any truck, any motorcycle you wanted for the road, which would it be?
What'd you get?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, probably just like a big 4-stroke that I can turn into a road bike.
Okay.
Not one of the big one, like big motorcycles, probably.
Oh, all right. Squat or bench?
Oh, geez. Probably bench because I have a better bench than most.
What do you bench?
Well, I mean, in powerlifting, I benched like 160, which is not that great, but
that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I was 18.
You were 18 when you did that?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was in powerlifting before bodybuilding.
What made you switch to bodybuilding or women's physique or figure? Sorry.
Yeah, well, I was with all my buddies and they were doing a show, like all my guy friends on the team, and they were like, "You should do it. Like you look kind of good." So I tried it and I loved it, and I'm just full bodybuilding.
So you're done with powerlifting now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
okay.
Fuck
I mean,
powerlifting.
it's fun. I mean, it's fun, but I just like seeing the progress more than lifting heavy.
Yeah, but powerlifting, you can eat whatever you want, right, Luke? You just like
yeah.
I don't know if I think strongman you can. I think in powerlifting, I think all the best guys seem to not be fat fuckers anymore.
Really?
That's true.
Yeah. Like a lot. Like you look at Dan Green, he's shredded all the time. He's one of the best, I assume.
Why do they always say that? Why do they always say that your weight helps you with your lifts?
I'm sure it probably does to a certain degree. But but I think being healthy and actually performing the best you can probably is better than having a big fat Chad belly. You know?
Yeah.
Favorite body part to train?
Probably chest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ass or bulge? Like when you're looking at a guy,
bulge.
If there's a guy at the gym that you're like have a crush on, do you look at his ass? Are you looking at the ass or are you looking at the bulge?
He's got a succulent pair of white. He's got white leggings on.
Is neither an answer?
Neither, really?
But,
okay, what are you looking at then? What are you looking at?
She's probably looking at the bar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
shut up.
In my head, I don't know.
Okay, let's say you're not at the gym. Let's say you're not at the gym. You're at a bar.
Okay.
What is it? What is it that catches your eye?
a nice person. I don't know.
Okay, all right. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Batman or Superman?
Not really into superheroes, but probably Batman.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Good. Correct
Yeah.
answer. Correct
Luke,
answer.
Yeah.
Luke was going to be
I know
really
Superman seems kind of overrated to me. But
Everyone knows enough about Batman and Superman to make an assessment, I think.
I like
Yeah.
I like Superman.
I wonder if there's anyone in the Western world. Do you know who Superman is? And they're like, who? I wonder if that exists. I don't know if anyone out there, if anyone, because Superman's like the symbol, Superman's symbol. That's like the cross. Everyone knows.
It's on like every T-shirt, basically.
Everyone knows what Superman is.
Yeah. So what's your point?
So I'm just wondering, like, I wonder if there's anyone out there that has zero clue what Superman is in the Western world.
No, I don't think so.
He's more famous than Jesus.
I would take Superman over Batman.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about there next. They're friends.
Pick two popular guys, Luke. Okay, I got one. Brad Pitt.
Right.
Brad
Pitt or Denzel Washington.
What's the question?
Which one would she pick?
Just probably, isn't Denzel Washington the actor? Or the funny, he's like, isn't he funny?
No, he's more serious.
No, is he not funny? I feel like him. I know him more than I know Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Not a movie. I don't really watch movies that much. No, not like, I don't know.
What do you do
like that? No.
What do you do for fun, like for a hobby? What do you do other than ride your dirt bike?
I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch just, I don't know, a lot of pros. I play.
What do you watch on YouTube? Because I'm like this. I watch tons of YouTube. When people say, "What do you watch on YouTube?" I'm like, nothing and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I always have like a podcast on, usually just in the background. Your guys' podcast, and like I watch John Meadows. I like watching like Chris Bumstead posts a lot of good videos. Yeah. Stuff like that.
I usually find myself into some weird like YouTube hole at like 3 a.m. where I'm watching like a hamster do a maze.
Yeah, all the time. That happens to me too.
That's the best stuff.
Yeah.
I always get into the lion killing shit. I always get into the hunting stuff. Like not.
I showed my son's mom and Leo. I showed them the horse eating the chick.
Oh no!
He thought it was the funniest thing he's ever seen.
Your son?
He thought it was hilarious. She was devastated. It was like I just showed her a picture of like Leo being eaten by.
I don't think you're supposed to show your kid that shit.
Well, makes him tough, I guess.
It just looks like he's having a bit of like candy floss.
All right, Abby, is there anything any message you want to kind of put out there before you go, or you just wanted to come on and ask a question, or is there anything you want to say?
Well, no, just thank you for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
Yep,
this is probably the coolest thing that's ever happened to me, to be honest. But
that's pretty awesome.
What's your Instagram for people that want to follow you?
It's Boggs Lifting, BOGGS, and then lifting.
Perfect.
Okay. Awesome.
Get following.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much for coming on.
No worries, Abby. See you soon.
Okay, Abby.
Have a good day. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, we're back.
I think everyone knows that because they're watching.
Okay. Listen, it's the host in me. I'm kind of like
you're just like.
I meant we're back to normal. It's just
okay. We are
back to the show.
I think everyone that knows that because they're watching.
Just shut the fuck up. All right.
Well, I'm the host too. That's my input.
Okay.
Right. What's next? There's lots of.
Why do you think you can't find some of these Instagram brand supplements at the nutrition stores? Not saying yours, obviously, brand new. I have my suspicions. I want to find that. Okay.
I think he's reading into it too much. To be fair, most supplement companies make the majority of their money via e-commerce and direct-to-consumer sales.
Well, I was just going to say he had all these suspicions about why, that they're putting steroids in their stuff and that I asked him what he meant. He listed like a list of suspicions. The fact of the matter is, to sell in a supplement store, you got to give them like 40% of your margin.
Yes, there's the margin. That's what I'm saying. The majority of companies can just make more money just by doing direct-to-consumer.
Yeah, it doesn't. Nowadays, most people order the stuff online. It's like the Amazon age, right? So it doesn't really help anybody anymore.
Let me just read it. I'm going to just have a skim over his answer because, I mean, it sounds. He's like he's clutching at straws here.
Well, it just sounds a little conspiracy like.
Yeah, it sounds like 5G to me. I just think for the most part, like if I was a supplement company, my sales would be, and my marketing would be aimed at direct to consumer sales. Yeah. And then when I get to a large enough size, and I could have, and you can afford to give away 40% margin, then I would start like looking at spreading my wings a little bit. But for a lot of the time, for a lot of supplement companies, they might not be big enough to be able to do that.
Okay, but even size-wise, if you look at like one of the biggest supplement companies in the industry is First Form.
Yes.
First Form's only direct to consumer.
Yeah.
They don't have any stores, and it's not because of any secret conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they have trade accounts and like where stores can buy direct from them and sell it in their stores. Surely, I'm sure that they have wholesale options for like gyms and things as well.
I'm not sure if they do.
If not, I didn't know that. But that's
and then like Primeval is the same thing. You know, Reagan was with Primeval.
Yeah, that's not true because they have a distributor in this country and it's in all the gyms.
No. You can have a distributor, right? But you don't necessarily sell in a store.
No, but the gyms, all the gyms are stocking it. So all the gyms,
they're stocking it from the distributor though. Like they're probably not selling to the gym directly. They're selling.
But that's still wholesale. So I mean, so to get in the shop, usually it's either directly to the stores or through a distributor.
But they might pay less percentage in a distributor. That's why.
Maybe. But I think again, it just goes back to a lot of the companies can make far more money direct to consumers because they can market it to their own people, and they can sell directly to them.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're doing. That's like our model is direct to consumer. That's what, and the reason we did that is not because I don't want everybody to have my stuff. For me, it's I don't fucking go to stores if I don't have to anymore.
Yeah.
Everything I buy, I go to Amazon, I click, and it comes to my fucking house.
Yeah, you're on Amazon yet?
Oh no, not yet. We need to be a little bit bigger before we.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just logistically much easier.
Well, I mean, it used to be that you couldn't reach people if you weren't in a store. You'd want to be as many stores as possible so you could reach everybody. It's just not the case anymore now that everyone's buying their stuff online. So there's no conspiracy behind it. Very simple explanation.
I think so.
I was a previous fat kid. Do you have any tips to overcome the fear and anxiety of uncomfortableness that comes along with trying to put on weight after losing so much weight?
Well, that's a difficult one to answer because your anxiety comes from your own journey, your own personal experiences. I think you just need to pay attention. Like, be honest with yourself. Maybe take pictures every 4 or 5 days, compare them, track your weight a bit closer, keep an eye on what you're eating. And if you all of a sudden you're getting a bit faster than you like or a bit quicker than you like, pull back. You've got to kind of, I think a lot of people need to kind of hold themselves accountable to these things. It's like, you're not just going to all of a sudden accidentally put on 50 pounds of fat, but you might put on 5 pounds quite quickly. You can catch it early, you know?
Yeah, I agree with 100% with what Luke said. It comes down to control, like not control. It comes down to knowing you have control over your own body. Because people get scared as if, like you said, they're going to wake up tomorrow and be 50 pounds heavier. Yeah. It doesn't happen like that. You're going to gain 5 first, and then 10, and then you go, okay, 10 is too much. I got to figure out what I'm doing.
So what I'm saying is, if the first 5 goes on a bit quick, and you don't like what you're looking like, you can just back off.
But I don't think it's we're agreeing again. I just think maybe 5 is too soon. Like 10 might be like, okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying 5 because he's scared.
Whatever it is, you have to set the bar. Like if you set the bar ahead of time and you're like, okay, this is the weight I want to be, and if it goes 5, 10, 15, whatever your bar is, just stop there and turn back. The thing is, this happened to me. Once you've lost weight once, you should know that you have the ability to do it on your own. Like when I started working out, I was 235 pounds and I was fat. I was like in grade 12. And it was because I worked at a pizzeria. All I did was eat pizza all fucking day long. So
that's the dream.
Yeah. So I was a fat defensive lineman in football. And I started doing like cardio and circuits. I wasn't working out like a bodybuilder. And I lost like 45, 50 pounds. Yeah. And I looked like a men's physique guy. I looked great. I was happy.
Yeah.
But after that, I knew I could lose the weight whenever I wanted to.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily understand the fear of putting it back on because it's totally in your control.
Yeah. But it's just like, again, you can't control your anxiety and fear. Just like you have the social anxiety, whereas this kid might be like, well, just don't go out. You know, it's quite.
No, but this is a little different.
No, I know. But it's like if his anxiety, we're kind of like, it's not up to us to understand his anxiety. It might be we're just trying to give him tips that might help him not.
What I'm trying to say is you should feel empowered enough to crush that anxiety because you've already done it once.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good tool, but it's the main thing is for anyone listening, if you want to improve your physique in any way, take a bit more control.
Yeah.
If you're getting fat, it's because you're eating too much. It's
Yeah.
that simple. No one accidentally gets fat.
You ever wonder?
Go, oh shit, I'm really fat all of a sudden. If that's happened to you, and it has happened to me.
Yeah.
It's because I haven't been in control and I haven't been paying attention.
Do you ever wonder sometimes, like, this isn't like, I'm not trying to be an asshole by saying this, but sometimes you'll see somebody that weighs like 300 or 400 fucking pounds and it's just all fat.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder if, like, when they got to 250, they weren't like, I better stop?
I think that every time I see a morbidly obese person, I'm like,
do you think they just give up at 250?
I just I feel bad for them in a way, because you've got a lot of time to get yourself into this mess, and I don't understand why at, like, say when you were like 200 pounds, what you could have backed out. You could have, like, this project's too much for me. I'm doing one. This is
like my mom. My mom's heavy, right? But like she had 5 kids, so every time she had a kid,
yeah,
she put on like 10 pounds. Right?
It's hard because I don't even like to judge, because you never know. No,
I'm not judging.
I'm not judging either, or even speculate, because I know fat people that are really active and they're just fat, and it's like you watch the way they eat and they're pretty active, they're just fat.
Do you think they're closet eaters though, or like they don't show you?
Yeah, maybe, or their thyroid's fucked.
Yeah, or it's just because they're so heavy.
Yeah. But I don't think you can accidentally just be like, fuck me, I'm morbidly obese all of a sudden. I think I don't understand why you didn't kind of stop it getting out of control earlier on.
Yeah, that's what I don't get either. Because I'm like, if I start getting fat, I know when I'm starting to get fat, and I'm like, okay, I better.
But I guess a lot of these people, it's not really part of their lives to think about it in the way we do. I think the older I'm getting, I'm starting to realize everyone's brain's wired totally differently.
Yeah, you think it kind of like creeps up on them?
Yeah, or they just don't really care.
Like they're working their 9-to-5 job, and they're eating.
They're probably enjoy. They're content. They probably enjoy their life more than they give a shit about that. They probably like food more than they dislike their belly.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, but I think if these people are very unhappy, you are in control to kind of get rid of that. You know?
What are your thoughts on fans staying high in the gym?
I'm fine with it.
Really?
Saying hi in the gym is not the same as starting a conversation. Okay. Like if I'm in the middle, it happens to James and I almost every time we train.
Okay, wait a minute. Obviously, okay, wait, you're gonna make me sound like an asshole. Obviously, if somebody walks by, no. Because I was reading more into the question. Obviously, if somebody walks by you and says, "Hey, Luke," and keeps going, yeah, that's not a big deal.
No. If somebody's just like, if I'm like just on my set and I'm sat there and somebody goes, "Oh, hey man," I'll just say, "I follow you on Instagram. I'm a fan of you and James. I just want to say hi." I'm like, "Yeah, cool, man."
And then he fucks off.
And they fucks off. Yeah, that's fine.
Totally fine.
And a lot of the time, I don't even mind if I'm not getting ready to do a set and I'm just stood there like a lemon. If they want to have a picture, I'm cool with that because I'm not doing anything in that moment.
As long as it's, my whole thing is, as long as whatever interaction it is fast.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
I'm cool with it.
I mean,
I just don't want to stand and talk, because some people will come up and they'll go, "I don't want to take a lot of your time," and then it's a 10-minute conversation.
That I just put a stop to. I say, "Do you mind if we do this afterwards?" Because James and I are training. We got a bit of a just try and be polite. Just try and say, "Yeah, cool. Can we just do this in a minute?" I think it's about, you can handle it politely. But I don't have a problem with it. But most people, I've never had it when somebody's chewed my ear off and I've had to tell them.
I have.
Yeah, I know you have. So
I have.
Burping. But James and I quite often get it when people come up to us and ask us for a quick picture. And I don't have a problem with it. I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah. What do you guys prefer in a mass cycle, Deca or EQ with test? Which compound adds more tissue provided the diet and training are in check?
I'd probably say most people would get more out of Deca. It just makes me feel like shit, so I don't use it.
I don't use it either. I can't take it.
I like EQ. A lot of people have the hematocrit issues with EQ, and it's never made mine excessive. But I take about a liter of blood out every 12 weeks.
Okay.
So I haven't had any issues with that. Because a lot of people are scared of that. They think they'll do one pin of EQ and all of a sudden their blood's strawberry jam. But I know I've always again preferred things I can't like feel too much. Yeah. Because Deca just makes me feel shit and it makes my face like,
I can't take it.
Yeah,
I can't take it.
I don't 19 more drugs. They don't agree with me.
Silas KJ says thoughts on Generation Iron versus Lee Priest issue And Fouad Abiad, would you invite Lee onto your podcast? In some ways, you guys are similar insofar as you both speak your mind and dislike what GI stands for.
What's happened with GI? Well, hang on.
Also a way to clear the air with Lee. Many thanks, as always. Keep up the great work.
Just back up a little bit. What generation there?
I don't know. A generation said that Lee Priest is a fucking bully, and then they interviewed his mom to confirm it or some shit. I didn't watch the whole video.
What, did his mom say that he was a bully?
I think so. I don't know. I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch it just said, let me show you the cover.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, what? They interviewed his mom.
I think so. It's ridiculous.
If you're interviewing somebody's mum to confirm that if they're a bully or not, Generation 9, just pack up shop and get in the fucking bin. You're shit.
They are so shit, man. They're fucking really, really.
Well, you did a couple of cool movies that I didn't really like and no one else really did, but a lot of people did. But your websites and your interviews are shit. So whoever's in charge, you're shit.
This is it. Lee Priest. The reason Lee Priest became a bully. Some say hurt people. This seems to be the case with Lee Priest. Check our new analytical article and interview with Lee's mother, where she explains the abuse and extreme bullying that he endured while.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different. Like, but yeah. I thought you meant they interviewed. Okay, well, this changes everything. They're still shit.
Lee found out when he was 12 or 13 that his father was gay. I kept it from him all these years, which was a stupid thing to do. But anyway, it come out, and everyone at school was calling Lee a faggot, or your dad's a faggot. You know.
Okay, I know it's not bad because they positioned it in a way that he's not a bully. He's a bully because of XYZ. But just let me say this. Somehow, this fucking channel always finds a way to bring out the worst shit.
There you go. What the fuck are you bringing up and trying to make? What the fuck kind of journalism is that? What's that got to do with bodybuilding? Everyone knows Lee Priest is a prick, but not actually a prick.
Yeah, like
he's playing the part. Whenever I've met him, he's very pleasant. He just speaks his mind. If he doesn't like you, he'll fucking tell you. There's nothing wrong with that.
I've had like my issue with him, but
yeah,
he's not a bully. He says
like, if somebody said Lee Priest, you're a bit of a dick sometimes, they'd be like, yeah. But like to make an article about why and how he's a bully and interview his mum,
yeah.
Why don't you go and interview Brandon Curry and ask him how his training's getting on or something? For fuck's sake, just do something that's positive or actually constructive to bodybuilding. It's just gossip and clickbait shit is what it is.
Let's see if it actually worked, because they keep trying to do this nonsense to like get views.
Yeah, Milo Sarchev, steroids are healthy. I bet he didn't say that.
Steroids are healthy for bodybuilders. Look at this. 567 views.
That was only posted 40 minutes ago.
That's still shit.
Yeah, it is.
John Meadows. Brandon Curry knows that he needs to get better. You see what they're trying to do?
Yeah, I know exactly what they're trying to do, because I bet John didn't say that. I bet John said, just like every bodybuilder trains to improve, he probably said, yeah, Brandon's still training. He still wants to like make some improvements, as everyone does. Or so he probably said something off the cuff like that. And because Generation 9, remember they did this to me with the whole Luke Sandoe slams Kuwait.
Yeah.
It's just fuck off.
Like John loves Brandon. They've trained together
twice.
They're
friends. Yeah, absolutely. And there's no way that I can imagine John really saying anything like that about anyone.
But you see this, the people are onto them though. This only has 6,000 views.
Oh yeah. No one gives a fuck.
Look at this. The Mr. Olympia died after Jay Cutler retired. Mac Truck. Who the fuck cares what Mac Truck says?
Who the fuck is Mac Truck? There you go. Let's start with that. Who the fuck is Mac Truck?
All of it is just crap.
Is his name actually Mac Truck?
I don't know.
Just like Tyson Fury's name is actually Tyson Fury, which is probably the best boxer's name ever.
Oh shit, they got 29,000 views on that. It's still not good for a channel with 500,000 subscribers.
I think it's because people just know they're talking bollocks, and it's like you're making drama. What it's like the reason Lee Priest became a bully. Leave the guy alone. Look
at this one. Chad Nichols, not to blame. Why are you rehashing that? Because it got so many views on that other channel that they tried to rehash it.
Why they brought up a week ago? They brought up Greg Valentino's steroid arrest. Wasn't that in the 90s? Next they're gonna do breaking news. Craig Titus done for murder.
Yeah. This is such a dog shit channel. What a fucking disgrace.
Can we just get it off the screen?
I know,
get
I'm going.
Get it out of my sight, Fouad.
Here, we'll go like this. There you go. Oh, what's this channel? This is a good channel.
Who's that handsome man at the top?
Anyways, okay, yeah, so fuck them. Anyway, the question goes on that would Lee be on our pod? I don't think Lee would come on our podcast because he's with RX over there.
I think you would. I think Dave would come on as well.
I don't think Lee likes me after I said that he was only in shape a couple times.
You know what? I don't think he liked what you said, but I don't think he dislikes you because you weren't being horrible. You were just saying the way you feel. And if he says that a lot about other people, so he can't. And you weren't wrong really, and you weren't shitting on him. So if he doesn't like you because of that, that's because he's being probably a little bit silly about it. I wasn't trying
to be rude. I was just trying to be.
You weren't. Yeah, you weren't. It's like when people say to me, "You look like shit at that show." Like, yep.
Like if somebody said to me, "Yeah, you won 2 bodybuilding shows, but the lineups weren't that great." I'm like, okay, it's still hard to win a show, but you're kind of right. It wasn't like I won the Arnold or something.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? So I'm like,
but a lot of the time it's when it's like I always post pictures. Like I posted that most the other day, and a few people like your chest is shit. Like, yeah, I know that. I'm pretty sure I said it in the post. It's and it's like if I got upset about that, like if you said Luke needs to bring his chest up, and I got upset about that, that's pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously all depends on what context. I think that thing about the Lee Priest thing with me is that show creates, like, you know, that iron debate kind of creates a. Yeah. It's not a normal conversation. You're supposed to be like fighting each other, right?
I also think the thing is with Lee Priest, there's things we've said. We do talk about the guy a lot, actually. We've always said he's got one of the best physiques of all time.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
And he wasn't as consistent as some people like to believe. And probably it's because he was supersetting KFC and McDonald's all off season.
See, now we're talking about fuck KFC and McDonald's.
No, so I'm saying, yeah, but
it really upsets me. My wife doesn't like processed chicken. And I'm like, KFC's not processed chicken. It's real chicken.
I don't think it. No, KFC's not. I think
no, it's not. It's on the bone still. It can't be.
Yeah, it's fake bones for it. They get the bones and they stick fake meat to it.
But she won't eat KFC, and I'm like, I'm dying for KFC.
Well, tell her to just go and get it yourself.
I like picking out with her. I want her to fucking.
I know what you mean. Actually, I know what you mean.
It sucks to just sit by yourself and.
It really annoys me. Like if I say to Sarah, like, "Oh, should we get some food?" and she's like, "Oh, I'm not hungry." I'm like, "You're a prick, and you've ruined the day."
No, my wife's always hungry for a cheat, but her cheats have to be like, no, it's not like she eats a lot. I know what you mean. My wife eats like once a day. Okay, she's always working, and once a day she'll fucking just when she has time she'll grab a meal, and then usually like. Me and her don't drink a lot or nothing. So like our outings are usually for dinner. And now we can't go out for dinner because it's quarantine shit. So we order in, but every time I want to order in, I want to order KFC or
why don't you do what we always talk about? You order the nice food and also order KFC.
I did that before.
So you're sitting there eating your nice food and then you hear like the doorbell go and like, oh, what's that? And then you come back with like a fillet tower burger and a bucket.
She ordered pasta. She ordered some pasta shit. Last week, and I'm like, the doorbell rang and it came, and she thought we were both had our food, but then as we were putting it like down, the doorbell rang again. It was McDonald's.
We haven't got. See, all the McDonald's are closed here, but earlier today I had a bit of a cheat meal.
What'd you have?
So we're watching all of the Marvel movies, all of them. I think she's seen Thor because all the women have seen Thor.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Yeah, let's watch them." So we watched Iron Man earlier.
All of them are like there's like 1,000 of them.
No, the Marvel universe, all the ones that lead up to Avengers Endgame. There's only 23.
Only.
So the Marvel, we're not going to watch it in one day. We're going to watch it over the next couple of months. Like watch a film a day or whatever.
So you're trying to get her up to speed so you can have conversations with her.
No, she actually wants. It was her idea.
Oh, okay.
Because we've got Disney Plus now, and they're all on there, and she's seen a few of them.
Yeah.
She's enjoyed them, and she's like, "Let's watch them all." Anyway.
Okay.
Watched Iron Man. Have you seen Iron Man?
Yes.
Do you know the bit when
not the last one?
No, but just the first Iron Man. You know when he gets picked up and he's like, "I want an American cheeseburger," and then they go, and he just unwraps a burger on his way to the press conference after he's been rescued from being in prison. He wants a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want the same. And so I went on Deliveroo and Wimpy was open. I've never had a Wimpy. And it's
we have Wimpy's here. I don't know if it's the same chain, but we have Wimpy's here.
I got a Wimpy with a hot dog in it as well. A burger with a hot dog, like, in the bun, like a round hot dog in there as well.
In the bun.
And the other one I got was a really clean, just chicken breast in a wholemeal bun with light mayo and lettuce.
So you got like a clean cheat and like a dirty cheat.
I got a shitty burger
with a hot dog in it.
I just saw it and I was like, I've got to add that. It was bacon, cheese, and hot dog in a burger was superb.
You know, if we were anywhere in the same vicinity, like we lived in the same city, we'd both be fat as fuck.
I think we'd do like football nights, wouldn't we? We'd probably like meet up and
just stuff our face.
Once a week, we just all it'd be awful.
Okay. What earbuds do you wear in the gym? I don't anymore because I was wearing Bose anyway. I've been doing the earmuffs lately.
I've got both. I've got some Sony ones that are the best headphones I've ever used ever. I don't like to train in them because they're really expensive. I don't want to sweat.
They get sweaty, yeah.
Yeah. But I've got the Bose SoundLinks, the ones that you told me to get.
Yeah, those are good.
I think you told me when we were with I Am Rebel in California. I was like,
yeah, they're Bose. What do they call it? Bose Sport?
SoundLink Sport?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they're good.
Wireless ones, the little earbuds, they're really good.
Let's see should I find them for people or can they look it up themselves?
You can find them for people. I think it's good to do.
Bose.
But I've always preferred headphones. Because I think it's because I went to music.
You mean you prefer the muffs?
I prefer headphones versus earphones.
What's the difference?
Headphones go in your head, earphones go in your ears.
Yeah, the muffs. You prefer the muffs.
So what you're wearing now are headphones. If you put them in your ears, they're called earphones.
I call them muffs.
Okay, well, you're Canadian.
These are the ones I have.
Yeah, the ones in the middle, they're still in the box on charge. Or the top left. They're the ones we have.
So you have the black ones. I have the colorful ones.
No, I've got the black ones.
Mine are fucked now. Finally, it's been like 3 years, but they're finally they're not charging.
Yeah, mine don't, because when I first got them, you'd charge it and it would charge like the box would hold its charge.
Yeah,
and it doesn't anymore. I have to recharge them daily.
I know. But how long? But I had mine for like 3 years though.
Yeah, I've had mine for about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, because my Beats by Dre ones, I was replacing like every fucking 6 months.
Beats by Dre is shit. They're not very loud, and I find them I think they're a bit too bassy.
Yeah. What separates coaches like Aceto, Jansen, Meadows from lower league coaches? Can I just say that Jansen doesn't belong in the other two coaching? Not to shit on him or anything, but I don't know if that's fair. I don't think he's built the body work. Sorry. Just being honest.
Yeah.
Meadows has been around for fucking.
Oh yeah, no. In terms of like what they know, but I kind of mean that they're all like a limb. I was trying to. Matt is certainly on his way there.
Matt's on his way, yes. But I think if you're talking about the upper echelon of coaches, you're talking about John, Hani, Chris.
Yeah, Matt's just not old enough to have.
Yeah, he just needs more time. Yeah,
but Matt's certainly one of the best upcoming coaches at the moment.
No doubt. I
also think there's two others that I've always very intrigued about. Is AJ Sims. He always looks like he's such a cool guy. I speak to him every show I see him. Yeah, he gets insane results.
Justin Compton does too.
Yeah, Justin. Yeah. Dorian Hamilton. I've seen him do really well.
Yeah, he's a good athlete.
And Patrick Tuor.
Yep. Okay. Let's rephrase. There's a lot of good coaches.
Yeah.
But some coaches have put in a lot more time, and I think that's what puts them at the top.
I think there's the top names. There's like Chris, Hani, Chad, and then you go a league below, and you get like AJ Sims, John Meadows, them, and then you go, and this is not in terms of how good they are. Yeah. This is just in terms of their portfolio of work,
their track records.
Yeah, the track records and the name recognition.
Yeah, I mean, because if you look at Chris and Chad and Hani, they have multiple Olympias under their belts.
Yeah. I mean, so, but then Matt has had Olympians as well, and he's had.
No, it's not Olympians. Yeah, John's had Olympians too.
Yeah, of course.
But they like Chad, Hani, and Chris have multiple Olympia winners.
And also they have been around a lot longer. But in all honesty, in terms of the capabilities of all these coaches, I think a lot of it's down to the client, really, because.
So, sorry to interrupt. One of the things he says is what separates the lower league coaches, and how do you think they got that good? So, basically, what we're saying is time is one of the main factors.
And I was also going to say, in terms of like the body of work they're presenting,
it's
it goes down to the clients, because you could have for example, Derek Lunsford's coach James Brown does very well with Derek, but he's still not very well known.
Yeah,
as far as I know, I never hear his name. So he would still technically be a low-level coach, despite having the top 2 best in the world in 212.
Well, there's 2 factors that stand out more than anything. 1, your body of work, and 2, time and consistency.
Yeah, so. And I think, but I think a lot of it's to do with client. Like I think Matt has been quite fortunate by having some quite like Dallas put him on the map. I would say that's fair to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
And I think a lot of the time,
Dallas and Justin.
Yeah,
even though Justin did a lot of his own stuff.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the time it's like you get quite lucky with. We haven't even mentioned George Farah. He's one of the big ones.
I'm not honestly. I don't mean to talk bad about George.
I'm talking names and how.
I know, but when I see, look, I think there's a difference between taking somebody who was doing one thing for a long time and then all of a sudden,
there's another one.
Wait a minute, and all of a sudden you made them look different dramatically.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's different when you take a guy who's like 98% good and you make him 100. Do you understand? I just feel like it's a different. I don't think it looks as good on your resume when you take Branch Warren, who's already shredded, and make him like 1% more shredded.
Yeah, no, I agree. But again, my whole point was a lot of what makes coaches are who their clients are, not necessarily their ability to coach.
Not for me. My what I look at is what do they do with that client? Like when I look at Chad, he took Ronnie from one thing to another thing.
Yeah, but John Meadows could have done the same thing with Ronnie. Harney could have done the same thing with Ronnie. I'm sure Chris could have done the same thing because he's Ronnie. And I think a lot of the time,
but he didn't. So I'm just saying we're looking at their bodies of work.
Yeah. Right? So I'm saying a lot of the time it's not the reason why they're big names is not necessarily because they're very good. It's because of who they worked with. And a lot of the time when you work with freaks,
that's not true. That's not true. That's what my whole point is. If you look at Farah's roster of his best athletes, they're already fucking great. They're not he didn't make them great. They're already great. Like he had Kai.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So you're literally backing up my point. So you're saying that George Farah isn't necessarily better than any of the lower guys. George Farah is getting these clients because his name is George Farah. He has the name and the people are gravitating to that. Or a lot of people like Jansen, his name is now being mentioned within these lists, not because of necessarily of how good of a coach he is. It's because he had Dallas and that put him on the map.
No, it's not the same. No.
But George Farah, the only reason we know who George Farah is because of who he's worked with.
That part of what you're saying is true, but what they did with their clients is also a factor. So what I'm saying is if you look at Matt and Dallas got a lot better working with Matt.
I know.
When I look at Farah's clients, they didn't get a lot better working with him.
No, exactly. So you're just backing my point up. So George Farah isn't a better coach than Matt Jansen, for example, just those two names.
What I'm saying is he's
George
worse.
Arguably George is more well known, and people would put his name in the top echelon. So there are guys we've never heard of.
We're talking about two different things. You're talking about how to get known.
No, I'm not. He's asking what separates the name coaches from the unnamed coaches. So if you bring on my next point, there's probably a lot of unnamed low echelon coaches that are far better coaches than Harney, probably even Chris, probably even George.
No.
But they haven't worked with anyone good enough.
You can't say that. You can't just say they're probably better.
No, I'm talking, but I've seen, okay, there's guys in the UK who are like unknown and they just like run a gym and all of their clients are just.
It doesn't matter though.
They always get fucking shredded out of their mind. They're always really good.
It doesn't matter because they don't have a body of work for anybody to want to work with them.
But if you looked at their body of work in terms of if you looked at their track record, everyone they work with gets in great shape.
Yeah, but some pro somewhere wants to say, who's trained with that guy? And what has he done with him? So you could train 1,000. I could train 1,000 level 1 guys, right? Yep. Regional shows. Yep. And they all come in shredded. It's not going to help me get a pro.
Myself, I've turned 5 people pro. Not many people know that, and I don't talk about it. Because it's like, but then there's a lot of people that have turned less people pro, but they're a name in the coaching business because that's what they do. And it's like, I don't think necessarily how famous you are as a coach necessarily dictates how good you are or how good your skill set is. Because
no, I'm not saying, I don't think I'm saying that, but I do think if you're choosing a coach,
the
body of work matters.
But the names don't matter. Just don't forget them who they've worked. Forget the names of the people they've worked with. Just look at take the heads off all the bodies. Just look at the physiques. There are some coaches that no one's ever heard of who have worked with people we have never heard of who have gotten incredible results.
But
if you give that coach somebody that gets on the Olympia stage, all of a sudden their name's well known. I know what you're saying. I think
if you don't know the coach, they probably haven't trained anybody of any notoriety, but of a great caliber.
Yeah, exactly. But the results they've gotten with those people have still been phenomenal.
Okay, but let me ask you this. So let's say you know this local coach, right?
Yeah.
And he's coached 100 people.
Yeah.
None of them are over 220 pounds. But they all look amazing. They get shredded and peeled.
He turned 2 super heavyweights pro last year, I believe. In
okay, is that somebody you'd work with?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Because because they're not a name. But if you looked at their body,
no, it's not because they're not a name. It's not because they're not a name. It's because I don't think getting you shredded is the same as getting a heavyweight shredded.
But if they've got 100 people shredded, and George Farah's only got 5 names shredded and they were already shredded, I would choose the one that isn't a name. Thanks.
Well, George Farah is the
I'm not even meaning to shit on George, because I'm not at all. I'm just using him as an example after what you said.
Yeah.
But I think some people,
I want to work with somebody who's worked with somebody of my caliber. That's the thing. That's why.
Yeah, yes and no, but
there's a reason you picked Chris Aceto and not your local coach.
The reason I picked Chris is because of all the feedback I'd heard from other people and the way he works.
That's right. Other people that were in your category.
So if I'd spoken to people, but the same with Justin Harris. Justin Harris just came out of nowhere and he hadn't worked with anyone for ages, and he turned me pro. And he hadn't worked with anyone for 8 years.
Yeah, but Justin
and
Harris,
he'd never worked with anyone with any of them.
It doesn't matter though. Justin Harris has walked in your shoes.
Not the same level, no.
Not the same level, but
no. But what? Yeah. So but he wasn't a name, and it's like so. What I'm saying is his skill set far outweighed his name at the time.
That I agree with, but I don't think. Is Harney Rambo
known as being a phenomenal coach, or is he known because of Phil Heath?
Both. His body of work is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody he worked, because it's not just Phil Heath. Think about it. He's got a figure Olympia winner. He's got a men's physique Olympia winner.
All names. They're all names.
He made them names.
Yeah, I know, but could he do? I'm not saying he can't, but can he?
He started with Phil. Don't forget that.
So here's another example. Some of these unknown coaches probably have the same skill set to do the exact same thing with those names. There's probably a coach out there that we've never heard of that could get Phil Heath probably looking even better.
There probably
it doesn't have anything to do. So it doesn't have anything to do with. So basically what I'm saying is if you want to work with a coach, actually talk to them, find out what they're doing, see who they've worked with, see their results, forget who they've worked with, just look at the results and talk to them. If you agree with the way they speak to you, if their communication's good and everything's good, then they're probably the coach for you. I've worked with Matt. I've worked with a few coaches. It didn't quite click like it does with Chris, but I'm not saying that's because they're not as good of a coach. It just didn't work for me.
I don't disagree with you that there are coaches out there that are probably great, but the one thing I would say is I always want to work with a coach who's worked with somebody like me, or he himself was like me.
Okay, so let's say if you found out about a coach from like Finland who'd worked with loads of obscure Finnish bodybuilders that were your size and got them all insanely peeled, you just never heard of them, but they were your kind of size. They were just peeled out their mind, just ugly physiques, which is why they never turned pro. But he knows how to get people in shape. Your size, are you going to say I wouldn't work with him because he hasn't worked with a name?
I probably would have never heard of him though.
Yeah, but if you did,
I probably wouldn't work with him. I probably wouldn't.
So there you go. So you're a designer bodybuilder. You want the designer name of a coach. That's what it is. They are designer coaches.
No, I'm not. I want to work with somebody who's worked with other fucking pros and has a track record.
I don't give a shit if they're pro. I want to see if they can get somebody. It does to me that
you can't say that. You're working with the prototype. You're working with Chris. It's not like you picked some local dude that's like awesome.
But I have the thing. Yeah, that's true.
You're like going against everything you're saying. You're like, I don't need to be with the designer coach, but you have the the ultimate designer coach. You know that, right? Chris Aceto's been around the longest.
Mm-hmm. But when I was trying to choose a coach back then, it was kind of that was just offered to me on a plate. But if somebody at that time, like, just go back to Justin, no one fucking knew who he was when I worked with him at the time because he'd been away for 8 years.
But when you wanted to excel, You switched coaches to somebody who had a bigger track record working with pros at a higher level.
Let's forget who he'd worked with. It's not who he's worked with that I give a shit.
Of course it is.
No, it's not. I don't give a shit.
If Chris didn't work with Jay, he didn't work with. That's how you build credibility. He's had all these different physiques, and he's managed to figure them all out.
I just think you don't understand what I'm trying to say. I don't give a shit.
I
don't give a shit what name they've worked with. I don't care. Does the way you work? Do I like the way you work? And have you got results?
I understand who it is. I understand what you're saying. I don't believe you.
Okay, don't believe me then, because I've worked with 3 very obscure coaches.
I'm not saying everybody has at some point. My first 2 coaches were obscure as well.
Yeah.
But when you reach a level that you're trying to overcome, you look for coaches that have built a repertoire in that area.
100%.
That's why you switched to Chris Aceto.
That is massively part of it.
But of course, that's my whole point.
It's not because he is Chris Aceto or because
but his body of work has demonstrated
his body of work's way more famous, so it's in your face. But there are people out there we've never heard about that have just as impressive results, but with people.
Of course there is. Of course there is.
That's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm trying to say, the what separates the top coaches from the bottom coaches a lot of the time is fame. To be fair, it's fame
that they earned. They worked. They built. Like Chris Aceto built Jay Cutler.
Like I know. I just think.
You know what I mean? It's not like
you're arguing with me. I think you know what I'm trying to say. You're just arguing with me. You know exactly what I'm trying to say.
I don't agree with you.
Low level coaches can be just as good at getting people in condition and getting results out of people as the well-known ones.
That I agree with.
So what is the difference in their skill set is the question.
It's not in their skill set. The question is, why do you go to a certain coach?
Matt Jansen is famous because of Dallas McCarver. There you go.
Yeah,
that's why. But again, that's not saying. But Matt is. But that's nothing. That's not taking away anything from Matt's skill set. He's a very good coach anyway. He's well known because of Dallas.
But that's because he's able to prove that he was able to work with an athlete like Dallas,
exactly, which is why
make him look good or better.
So a lot of these coaches who just might not have had that chance to work with somebody of that caliber to prove themselves. Just like there's probably listen to the fucking radio.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Radio, right? Listen to the radio. Most of the music is dog shit. And I guarantee there's musicians out there that you've never heard of, no one's heard of. They're making music in their bedroom that's 100 times better.
Okay, I get it. I get your point.
I
get your point.
Right.
I get your point. What you're missing is my point, which is you would still not pick that guy. In my opinion, you wouldn't pick that guy. Okay, let's say you had a lineup of 50 people that Chris has trained and 50 people that your local coach has trained.
Yep.
You know Chris trained those 50 people, and you know your local coach trained those 50 people, and they all look awesome.
Yeah, and so I wouldn't just go to Chris because he's Chris. I would think about it.
Not because his name is Chris.
I would have discussions. I'm telling you this is a fact. You're trying to tell me what I would do. I would speak to them both, and I'd want to see how they work, whether I actually have a rapport with them. I don't give a shit about the names attached to who they worked with. I just want to see what the results are. AJ Sims, most of the people he posts, I've never heard of, and I'm blown away by his results. And I nearly worked with him before Chris. And at the time, he was even less well-known than he is now.
But AJ proved it with Marco Rivera, who looked amazing.
That I was looking at AJ before Marco Rivera.
Okay. Well, then me and you are different. Let's just put it that way. Me and you are different. Because if I saw both those lineups of 50 people each, I'm going with Chris.
Yeah, because he's Chris Aceto.
No, not because he's Chris Aceto, because he's demonstrated with a body of work that he has a list of pros that he's proven that he can get in shape.
Yeah.
The other guy doesn't have that list.
But it's like Jansen, because he did so well with Dallas, a lot of the pros are starting to gravitate towards him because he's proved it. And I think what I'm saying is the skill set of these coaches we've never heard of are still likely just as good.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying yes.
But you're not answering. You're arguing with me rather than answering the question.
No, am I?
Yeah. What separates in terms of the? So all I'm trying to say is the skill set might not be. It does, just because they're not well known doesn't mean they're not good. Is my point. And just because they are well known doesn't mean they're good.
Well, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
If you're very well known, that probably means you have a body of work that proves that you're good.
Noel Fuller, he's shit.
Who's Noel Fuller? I don't know what the fuck that
he's
is.
quite an old school, only because I know 3 people from this country that have just been fucked over by the cunt. Shit coach, but he's got a good track record, and he's worked with some good people. He was all over the MD forums back in the day.
No idea who that is.
But I'm saying because I was on the MD forums back in the day, and he was very well known and on those forums. But he's fucked people over, and a lot of coaches just fucked people over.
So he says, what separates the big names from the little names?
Exactly, in terms, which I would imagine in terms of what makes them big names.
And how do you think they got that good? And my answer is the experience and the amount of time they put in, and it's not the same. And I don't think a guy who's been coaching for a year, even if he has a good track record, is as good as somebody who's been training for 30 years, coaching people for 30 years.
Yeah, but there are people out there that have been coaching for 20 years that just no one knows about, but their results they've had with people are phenomenal. There's coaches out there that only really coach amateur NABBA guys, and they're all fucking out of their mind peeled.
Mm.
That's just, but it doesn't mean they're not a good coach. It doesn't mean Harley Rambod's a better coach, because it doesn't.
So I changed the argument. You're right. I said how I would pick them.
Yep. And I just think it's...
So that's an addition to it.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with you, but I don't think just because you're a name, you're good. Just because you're not known, you're not good. I think a lot of the time...
It's not because... I'm not saying because you're a name. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying your track record proves if you're good or not. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it does a lot of the time. But again, I think
Is there anybody with a really good track record that's not a good coach?
Yeah.
Who? Can you name one?
I will.
Don't want to name one?
I don't want to on the air, but I will, yeah. We'll talk about it afterwards. I've got one that popped in my head straight away, because he's got about 6 people that have done phenomenally and 100 people that have done shit.
But everybody has coaches that have done shit. Like Chris. Look, Chris is an amazing coach, and he's got some bad apples in there.
Of course, but the majority of it is good. You can't have like 2 superstars and everyone. Say you got 100 clients, 5 of them are good, 95 are shit.
I'm really curious about who you're talking about now, because I don't. Out of the top guys we named, that doesn't hold true for any of them.
No, it doesn't.
So now I'm really curious who you're talking about.
I'll tell you after. He's not, but no, but I'm like, he is phenomenal. He's had phenomenal results, but he's also had really, okay, here's one. Nathan Harmon. I've worked with him twice. Once, phenomenal. Second time, it was a disaster. It's not because he's a great coach, but just because he got a shit result with me once doesn't mean he's bad, but that would go on his bad part. He's got kind of his methods, and if it works phenomenally well. If it doesn't,
he's one of those coaches. Yeah.
Does that mean he's a bad coach? I don't think it does. It's just. I
kind of do. But if you're a one-trick pony coach, it doesn't mean you're a good coach.
But he's had Sean Tavernier. He got him Rookie of the Year. He got him on that Olympia stage.
Yeah.
His first year. So if you look at that, wow, phenomenal coach. And then you look at me, I lost my only amateur show ever working with him.
Yeah.
But that's not a reflection on his abilities. It's just sometimes a lot of coaches can have 3 or 4 superstars. You got to look at the guys that are not superstars. I can get Phil Heath ready for the Olympia. So can you. Because he's Phil fucking Heath.
I don't know if it's that simple, man.
I don't know if I'm exaggerating.
Hani.
Of course I'm exaggerating, but somebody at that elite level is not that difficult to get in shape compared to somebody that's really like... The genetic freaks are easier to coach than people who are at the low level. You will always
That's true.
Always hear of the genetic freaks. They will always attach that, and they'll all have their coaches. I want to see the guys that are getting people in shape who are really struggle and they find it difficult. That's what I want to see. I want to see, like, that's why I'm going back to AJ Sims, because
of course he works
with Justin Rodriguez, and then Justin's always had a real issue getting in shape. And then at the Indy Pro last year, he was peeled.
But I include Hani in that conversation because I've seen guys.
No, I do as well. I'm just
with Hani, and then after they left Hani. And the other thing is, Hani's guys have a signature look. They all have the same look.
I'm not saying he's not a fantastic coach at all. I'm not saying all of these guys are amazing coaches.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying. But I'm also. But the only thing I'm saying, just because they doesn't mean they're better than the guys you've never heard of. A lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. A lot of the time, you just like you said, it's all about their body of work. If you see 100 people, and let's say, I guess. Okay. Here's one. So you got 2 coaches. You've got Chris Aceto, who's got 5 guys that are phenomenal and 95 that are really shit.
Yeah.
Or you've got the other guy you've never heard of. You've got 5 guys that are a bit shit, and the other 95 are fucking amazing. Who are you choosing?
Well, that's not a real scenario, though. I've never worked with anybody with that record.
I know of so many amateur coaches in this country that should not even be coaching. They have no business coaching. They should be fucking arrested for what they're doing to people. And they have one or two phenomenal showings with their clients, and all of a sudden they're God's gift, and the rest of their clients crash and burn. It's so common. Yeah. But then you have the other side of the coin, where you have a lot of amateur coaches that don't do marketing. They're not well known. They're not loud. They just prep people to do a really good job time and time again. And that's it.
But those people get known. You know that, right?
Eventually.
Like, I don't think you turn into Hani Rambod or Chad Nichols or whoever by accident. I think you have to.
No. But a lot of the time you do.
Chad's not a marketing guru.
No, but Chad wouldn't have been Chad without Ronnie.
That's not true. He had Nasser before Ronnie. He had fucking Flex Wheeler. He had Gunter. I mean, he's trained so many of the 90s guys.
Cool. None of them are Ronnie Coleman. None of them are the best bodybuilder of all time. None of them.
Why do you think Ronnie Coleman went to him, though? Is because he's working with everybody else already?
Yes, it's true. I think we both make good arguments. I don't think we'll really know, but I think just to say that just because you're a famous coach doesn't mean you're better than someone you've not heard of.
I already agreed with that.
Yeah. So I think that's just. Yeah.
I was making a seperate point. That wasn't.
Yeah, I know. Which again, I don't disagree with.
All right, let's move on because we spent like half an hour on that question.
That was a beast.
And we're supposed to be.
I'm tired now.
I know, so am I.
Fuck. I've still got to train.
I thought you trained already. I still got to train too.
Because I was waiting for the deliveries, and I said to Sarah, "You train." We were watching Iron Man, and then I said, "You train whilst I'm doing the podcast, and then I'll train afterwards."
Oh, you don't train with her?
We do legs together, but I'm doing chest today, and she's doing legs. She does legs every other day. That's why she has a gigantic ass.
All right, this guy asks if Luke's ever done the minivan.
I don't know. I just get it up on the screen. I don't know. Maybe.
The minivan, 2 fingers in the vagina, a full fist in the ass.
Close.
Just like a real minivan. 2 in the front, 5 in the back.
I can't. I didn't get it until then. I can't see it on the screen. I can't see it.
Oh, you can't? What are you seeing then?
It just says waiting for DMX DOS District M.io.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, you fucked it.
Okay, wait, here, I got you.
Oh, there we go. No, 5 fingers. Yeah, I've done that. I've not had a whole fist in there, though.
I don't know where I went now. Okay, anyway, so you haven't done that?
No, I have.
Okay.
Well, if you mean that.
You have? The whole 5?
Well, you just put them in like the tips of them all in like that. You don't have to put the whole fucking knuckles in. It depends how deep you're going. If you're going up to the wrist, no, I've not done that. If you're putting just like trying to cram those 5 fingers in like that, like if you're like, so pretend you're an Italian doing that position in the arse. We've all done that, but just up to maybe the just past.
Is this Italian?
Yeah, just Italian up to the nail bed.
Is that racist?
I don't know because it's a country. It's not a race.
We haven't.
Tagliatelle.
Okay.
That's racist, I think.
I think we're getting better. We have less racism in our.
We have nice racism, I think. Like,
we have less.
We have like white men can't jump. Racism.
Maybe if we can stop swearing, we'll eventually get monetized. When you say 80, okay, let's go faster, please, because I got to go train. So let's just like get through this.
So have I. I've just said that.
Okay, let's go real quick.
Fuck's sake. Go on.
When you say 80-20 on a bulk clean to junk ratio, is your 20% calculated and consistent as well, or is it whatever you add on top of a clean meal?
It's kind of based on my appetite. So the 80% for me is 100% the diet.
Yes.
So it's almost like 100 and an extra 20% on top.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
That's mine too. So basically what we're saying is we have our diet and then whatever the fuck we want to eat on top of that is that's
the 20% to me.
Yeah.
So when I start a contest prep, I cut that 20% out and I'm just left with the 80.
The diet, yeah. Differences for leg press and hack squat, would you do both in one session?
Yes.
Yes.
I think they're totally different movements.
I can't really explain why, but yeah, they are totally different.
It's the way your upper body's positioned and your hips are positioned.
I don't know enough about to exercise physiology to be able to explain.
I think it's more to do with hip extension and foot placement, I think, than anything else. And like, I mean, if you were to imagine a leg press versus a hack squat, for it to be the same with a leg press, you'd have to be lying the same. You'd have to be lying upside down for it to be the same.
Yeah, but you can sometimes. Like obviously on our leg press hack squat combo thing,
No,
it's
but
it's the same angle.
Yeah, but when it's the same angle, but imagine that with a hack squat, you're in line with the whole angle. So if you tilt it upside down, you're going into the floor because you have to be lying down that way.
Okay.
To move this, for it to be the same.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'll take your word for it. I don't think it's
but that's why they're the same angle. You're not, because when you do a hack squat, it's the same. Okay, you know the hammer strength hack squat, the one you put your lower back in.
Yeah.
That's exactly like a leg press the other way around. That's not a hack squat.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because you're upright. You're not flat.
The one that just sits in your hips.
Yeah, that's essentially the same as a leg press.
Well, I can't explain why they're different, but I can say I've done both. And actually, I do. Some people have asked me like if they can squat to do two different squat movements in a leg workout. And
to me,
I made the most progress in my leg development when I started adding two different squat movements in one leg workout.
I just find it quite difficult to take a lot of squat movements to absolute failure unless it's a hack squat or a machine squat.
But when I say that, I mean a hack squat and a regular squat.
Yeah. Like, but I know in the past you've said you like to do superset like a squat and a front squat. Like I could do it for like volume, but to go to failure, I don't think I'll be able to.
No, that's kind of a shock thing. It's not like a regular.
It's just the Wiener principle is keeping the body guessing.
Fuck off. Okay. What do you think is the maximum potential with average genetics? If all other variables are perfect, can it be a low level IFBB pro, national level competitor, or less than that?
So what's the maximum?
So he's saying like, what do you think is the maximum potential for somebody with average genetics? Could they become a pro?
In this day and age, more likely, yeah, I guess so.
Okay, pro open bodybuilder.
Competitive or just get a pro card?
Well, he says low level pro, so I guess just get a pro
Having
card.
a pro card, yeah, because I still think even at pros, I mean, you must have done this when you'll turn up for a pro show and you'll see somebody like, how are you here? It's happened. You'll see like a pro, you're like, you're not a pro.
Yeah.
No disrespect,
but that's because there's so many different areas. Like you can get your pro card in the Caribbean, and you can get your pro card.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and especially in this day and age where there's lots more opportunities to do it internationally, I don't see it not.
Yeah.
But again, that kind of takes away from what a pro card means in a way as
well. Is HCG absolutely necessary in a PCT, or will Nolva do the trick? I'm 25 years old.
They're not at all the same. So you're like talking about milk versus water. They're not the same. So
does he need a PCT though?
Well, that's a good question. Do you need PCT is such an intricate thing. Loads of people are like, yeah, just take tamoxifen and just HCG and you're fine. Just do it 5 weeks after your last jab. Do that for 2 weeks of some Clomid and you're fine. Doesn't work like that. If you want to watch it, go on Dr. Dean St. Mark's page. He's got a story highlight of him breaking down PCT. It's very, very thorough. And it's worth a read.
Dr. Dean's Instagram?
Yes, he's got a story highlights of PCT stuff on there.
What is it? What is it called?
I think it's just Dean St. Mark. So Dean, let me find it.
1 second.
Because he puts out a ton of good information on this. And he's got highlight reels of things. It's Dean, DEAN STM. So Dean STM. So if you can find it.
STN?
STM.
M?
Motherfucker.
Yeah, I got it. Dr. Dean.
Yeah, so he puts out some very, very good information. He's got a whole PCT thing on there. He's got, if you look at his highlight reel,
you can see this.
Yeah, just look at his highlight reel. Just go across. Click on the arrow. Just go across the PCT. Keep going. There you go. Click on the PCT one. The PCT recap. Well, there's PCT here on the right.
Oh, okay. Wait, let me get out of here.
Look how long that story is.
Shit. 1 second. So here's the PCT.
You just click on
What the fuck?
You've gone past it. Yes,
there we go.
PCT. And
okay,
look at the top. Look how many stories there are. That's one topic. Each page.
Fuck.
He's giving all this information away for free.
Okay, guys. Honestly, let's just say this: if you guys want any steroid information, this is obviously where you should be going.
You should be Dean puts out good information. Dean, his qualifications are all about steroids. That's what he did. That's what he does. Like I don't know anyone that's as well versed in like biochemistry in terms of bodybuilding application than Dean.
He's got a good physique.
Yeah, he's great. He doesn't have the best genetics, but he does fucking well with it. And he's Irish, which means he's nice.
He looks good.
Yeah, but he's anyone who's listening to this, I would advise you following him and check out his stories. Don't bombard him with questions. He's given away enough free information. But his story highlights have so much good information on there.
Velma or Daphne? You don't know who that is? You don't know who that is?
No.
I think it's from. Is that from Scooby Doo? Yeah, it is from Scooby Doo.
What did you say? I just heard. I didn't even know what you said.
Velma or Daphne?
Oh, Velma or Daphne? Daphne.
Yeah, obviously.
No, I think who's the one with the glasses?
It's Velma, isn't it?
I think that's Velma, isn't it? The one with the glasses, because when she took them off in the movie, she was way hotter.
Velma or Daphne?
I think. Which one's the one with the glasses?
Velma.
Well, Velma then.
You like her better?
I think because when you take her glasses off and like put a nice dress on her, she'll be way fitter than the other one. She's like Nanny McPhee.
What about this? What about this Velma?
I can't see anything on the screen.
Oh, you can't?
No.
I haven't shared my screen. I'm just looking at these by myself.
Yeah, you're just on your own looking at Velma. Here we go. Here we go.
I thought you were looking all along with me.
Go on.
Velma or Daphne?
See, either. I'd probably go for Daphne there because
either. You're like, I don't care. I'll take anything.
There's something about the red. I quite like the red hair, but in that one, I'd choose Velma. I think Velma there as well.
Really? I think Daphne.
I don't know. I just think there's something about her.
I think you see thick legs. I see boobs.
I think I'm seeing Velma's boobs as well, mate. I'm seeing.
Yeah, but you're seeing thick legs, which is going to lead to.
I don't know.
Probably leads to a thick ass. So
I need to interview them both first. I need to give them both a waiver. Fill this form out, and then I'll pick one.
This chick's way too thin for you. You're going to take Velma here.
It's not that I don't like thin. It's just I just like women, and it's not. I don't have anything against thin. I think it's. I don't. You know what? It's not size that matters.
Velma or Daphne?
They're both not great. In the cartoon, Daphne, but in the film, Velma. In those two, that's definitely Velma.
No way! Look at that.
Yeah, but look on the left, mate. Take those glasses off.
you realize?
Because I always think it is like the ones that a lot of the time the women that like are the most provocatively dressed and the most kind of outwardly attractive on purpose.
Yeah,
are usually the boring of the others. And I think, yeah, definitely on the right.
In this photo.
Yeah, look at the boobs, mate. They're bigger. See? It's hard because every single one you're clicking on, the answer changes.
You realize we're critiquing a cartoon, right? Oh, look at this! This is all you for sure.
I still think Mrs. Incredible is the best. So many people DM me after that.
I know.
Yes, she is. But have you noticed that all of the Disney and Pixar movies, all of the arses they give the women are massive?
No, I haven't noticed that. I don't watch enough cartoons.
Have you ever watched Sausage Party?
No.
You have to watch Sausage Party. It's the one that Seth Rogen did. It's an adult animated film.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah,
I watched it quite a lot actually. It's one of my favorite comedies. It's so funny.
Can you see that?
It's so I can see that.
This is what I'm looking at. Yeah,
there's a woman in that, and she just has a massive ass for no reason. It's just all the humans in these animated shows. If you watch this, I guarantee if you watch this show, you'd die laughing at least a dozen times.
Okay, I'll watch it. It looks interesting. Okay, we're supposed to be rapid firing these. Let's go.
We're shit at rapid fire. We're like a machine gun that keeps falling. It's jamming.
You are dropped in the middle of Alaska. What 5 things do you take with you? And Luke Wicket doesn't count as a husky.
Oh no, of course he doesn't. He's a Yorkie.
I'm taking my wife. Wait, how long am I going to be there?
Nah, fuck taking a person. That's another mouth to feed.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be like she'd slow me down.
You'd slow her down. Why Alaska?
I don't know. It's this question. It's horrible.
Just in the middle of Alaska. Probably just walk to the nearest town. It's an American state, isn't it? Yes. Surely there's like enough.
Again. Luke finds a fucking loophole.
If you said in the middle of like Siberia,
Antarctica,
Antarctica, what would you take with me? Probably a coat.
So 5 things you take with you. I take my credit card and
I'll take my credit card.
Some money.
I'll take my car, my wallet.
Next.
Yeah, just next. I can't be asked to answer that. It's too much. Next.
What do you guys think of the recent interview with Wayne D'Amelia? Oh, this is just more shit. That Valuetainment channel is almost as bad as Generation Iron now.
Again, I don't.
They had Wayne D'Amelia on, who's been like fired from the IFBB like fucking 15 years ago or 10 years ago, and they want to ask him a whole bunch of shit about the IFBB. It's like why like Okay. How do you guys feel about meal frequency? And if it fits your macros, do we need to split it out into 6 equal meals, or can we still hit our macros and calories through 6 uneven meals?
The uneven meals, I think it depends on the energy balance in terms of your nutrition around training, because you could have pre and post workout and intra workout massively high carbs and then have fuck all in the rest of your meals.
Yeah, my meals aren't even. I don't think that even how even they are is what matters. But I think
my protein's even.
Yeah,
but my carbs and fats change depending on where it is today.
I think the difference is I mean, if you're eating 6 meals, you're good. I think some people think there's that whole theory that as long as you get your calories in for the day, it doesn't matter if you do it in 1 meal, 2 meals, 3 meals. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. If you try and get 5,000 calories in 1 meal, you can do it. But I guarantee you're going to fucking look like shit.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a fine line. My sweet spot's 5 meals. I like 5.
5 or 6. I mean, I always tell people ask me how much they should eat. And I'm like, look, just try and get a meal every. I just say try and get a meal every 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because if you do 3 hours, it's usually 5 a day. And if you do 2 hours, it's like 6.
Yeah. I mean, again, going back to if it fits your macros. If it fits your macros doesn't mean, I'm supposed to have chicken or white fish. I'll have bacon instead. That's not what it means.
Yeah.
It's like you can swap your rice for potato or something. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not have Pop-Tarts and bacon versus chicken and rice. It's not the
same. Is 45 minutes of cardio? I felt bad for this guy. So why don't I answer this? Is 45 minutes of cardio a day too much for a bulk? It consists mainly of a casual walk with my dad daily to help him lose weight. Not something I want to stop, but is it something I have to if I want to start seeing progress?
No, not at all.
I don't think 45 minutes of a casual walk is going to burn muscle.
No, because I mean, a lot of people, a lot of bodybuilders have dogs and big dogs, and they probably require a good 2 hefty walks a day.
Yeah,
it's a casual walk. It's not going to do anything.
Let us know your weird pre-contest nightmare. You already answered this. That's Xavier. Asked that.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like I didn't think everyone had these dreams. I always have the ones when you wake up, like when you kind of like you have the dream where you turn up to the show and you're still off season, you haven't shaved and you haven't put your tan on. I
had that one. I have the one where I wake up and I cheated on my diet, and it actually takes me like 5 minutes to realize I just woke up and I actually didn't eat anything.
Yeah.
So I've had those. That's probably my worst.
I've had it like when you've forgotten your posing trunks and you have to like find something else. Like,
I've never had those.
Well, I think the hair one I've had the most. It's like I'm backstage and I'm just looked down. And I look like this.
Really?
I've
never had that.
I've had that.
Please, can you guys suggest intensity techniques for when you're training solo and want to go past failure safely, please? I'm just going to say rest pause is probably the best for that.
I would say drop sets and partials as well.
Or drop sets, yeah.
Rest pause, yes, if you have like a rack where you can put safety stoppers and things. Rest pauses, muscle rounds, drop sets, static holds, like isometric contractions, which are the same. There's loads of stuff you can do. Really anything you can do. I think the only intensity techniques you shouldn't use when you're training on your own is dangerously heavy low reps.
Yeah. I train by people make this excuse to me all the time. Like I can't train hard because I train by myself. Like when I moved to Toronto, I trained by myself for like 3 years. And those are the years I won. That was when I was winning. So I'm like, it doesn't mean shit because you can't train with a partner.
But I think the majority of my bodybuilding life, I've trained alone.
Yeah.
In terms of like, if you put 8 years or 9, I think it's about 9 or 10 years, I would say 6 of those years I've trained alone.
Yeah, I don't think you have to have a partner to train hard. I think that's kind of a misconception. Hi guys, thanks for the great podcast. Been wondering what are your plans for life post pro bodybuilding? Do you guys have any college degrees or other education you want to pursue? I only have 2 years of university, and then I left for bodybuilding, and I'm gonna have a wildly successful supplement company. And that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
I've got loads of ideas I want to do. If I achieve everything I want to achieve in bodybuilding, I think life afterwards will be relatively straightforward in terms of what I want to do. Because I don't have terribly high ambitions, really. It's
terribly high ambitions for like For like,
I like it was like I'm not like I want to become governor of California, you know, like that stuff. Or like I want to become the highest paid Hollywood actor in the world, like that kind of stuff. It's unrealistic. But owning a gym and doing media work and things and stuff like that, that's all doable. I like being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do something with music and maybe kind of like just media in some respect. I like kind of stuff like that. I wouldn't say acting, but it just sounds, anybody who doesn't want to get into acting just sounds like a dick when they say it. I should get into acting. Just kill yourself, you prick. But that would be, but like doing something like along those lines, but more like something creative, I think.
I got it.
So like if I had the money that I wouldn't have to worry about kind of, I would like to be financially set up so I can focus on more creative things.
I got you. Well, hopefully you will be if you win a couple Olympias.
There you go.
What are your thoughts on running for fat loss over steady state, and how long do you think it takes to lose 20 pounds?
Running, if you're running for 30 minutes, that is steady state. You're just in a steady state.
That's true, but I think he means like
LISS, low intensity steady state.
Yeah, low intensity. So I actually don't ever advise people to run if they're trying to keep their muscle, but that's just me.
I just think, well, if you train with heavy weights and you're running, you're going to be probably causing a lot extra wear and tear on your joints. You don't need to be as well. That's a factor. I just think, who the fuck wants to run?
Well, some people want to run. I just think.
Yeah, but I mean, like some people want to run. They're called runners, but like bodybuilders don't do that shit, you know?
Yeah. I think if you're trying to keep your legs big and you're trying to build muscle, I think running is just counterproductive. I don't think it's going to help you retain glycogen. I don't think it's going to help you recover any faster. I think you're just
possibly. But I just think it's more just. I think doing a brisk walk would benefit you more than running.
And he says, "How long does it take to lose 20 pounds? It depends how hard you're willing to work." I mean, I lose.
I like just 20 pounds of fat or just 20 pounds.
Well, 20 pounds. I can lose 20 pounds overnight. I think he's talking about like properly losing 20 pounds.
Yeah, because I could lose 20 pounds. Just give me salmonella. I could lose 30. It depends on the person, because like, some people just lose body fat so fast and other people just don't. It's just a slog. So I mean, I've seen Ben drop body fat insanely quickly. James got ready for his last show in 7 weeks. Went from off season to pre-contest in 7 weeks.
Okay, can I just say something? Like, I'm assuming this person is a relatively average lifter. Yep. My brother could never lose it. He's like, I can't lose weight. I can't lose weight. I can't lose weight. One year he's like, just take the reins. Tell me what to eat. I'm going to do exactly what you say. I'm like, there's no way you can. You drink, you fucking, you're a regular dude. Like, you're not going to fucking do what I tell you. He's like, I promise. He did it. He lost 30 pounds in like 8 weeks. I just don't think the average person will eat like we eat.
No.
I think that's the biggest problem. Like, people want variety.
How long can you lose 20 pounds? Going back to what you said, it purely depends on how willing you are to go there, really. You could do it over a year, nice and slowly, or you could do it over 6-7 weeks.
Yeah,
I could lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks of fat.
I think if I wanted to lose 20 pounds and maintain most of my muscle mass, probably 4 weeks would be.
If I had 40 pounds of fat to come off, I could lose the first 20 in about 2 or 3 weeks.
The first 20 would be gone fast, yeah.
And the second 20 would take about 10 weeks.
But what I'm assuming with with people like this is they're probably not eating high calorie diets, so they're not going to be starting in the same place you're going to be starting. So, but then again, I'm assuming a whole bunch of shit that. I think
let's just say
there's too many variables to answer this.
£1.5 to £2 a week, work out. That's like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Do you ever contemplate with some worry or fear that the gear done may cause future health problems? No negative vibes here at all. Really just curious about how you would potentially push thoughts like that aside for something you love so much. I assume the responsibility. If I die,
same.
If I die when I'm 45, then that's the choice I made.
I take all the precautions I can, and I don't dice with death in the way that I'm not irresponsible with things I do. I just feel very lucky. I've never had to be irresponsible with anything. But I'd be very naive to believe I'm going to get out of this whole thing completely unscathed. Whether it means I'm on TRT for the rest of my life, which is highly likely. I don't know. You don't often hear of a lot of the genetic outliers in bodybuilding having problems as much as you do the people that have had to force it. But I would be an idiot to be naive enough to think I'm going to get out of this fine and nothing's going to happen. It's always a concern.
I feel like people ask this question without considering other jobs that are just as bad. Like if people play football, like American football.
Yeah, of course. I think it's the same thing. If you're playing NFL and you're risking concussion, they know what they're up against. If you're a race car driver, you know what you're up against.
If you're a fighter, if you're a race car driver, if you're a football player,
of course.
You kind of make a decision. Like people, I find weird too. Like, obviously we get a lot of hate all the time.
Yep.
The weirdest kind of hate I feel like is when people are like, "You're gonna die soon," and I'm like, really? Like that's your form of hate. Like,
but whenever somebody says that to me, I say, I certainly hope not. I have 2 children.
Make them feel bad.
Yeah, just sort of put that in your guilt hole.
No, but I'm just I'm like, why would and then that like if I do die, is that person going to be like, I fucking knew it? Like, is that like a point of pride?
Yeah, I don't know, but I think the one thing that annoys me is every time a bodybuilder dies, it's like the coronavirus. Like a bodybuilder could die in a car accident. They're like, the steroids crashed his car.
I know.
It's nonsense.
I thought of it because I was looking at Rich Piana's Instagram the other day. I don't know why it came up. I think maybe because Machiavelli did a video or something like that. So I was just flipping through and I noticed all the comments were turned off. And he actually has one post in there where he talks about like hoping he doesn't die when he's 46 or something like that. Or no, it was something like, I know it's not healthy for me to be 300 pounds at 46 years old, but I'm addicted and this is the life I love and whatever. And I can only imagine the comment section and how dog shit it must have been. And that's probably why they turned the commenting off.
People are just horrible. People are like,
I just don't know why you would wish that for anybody. Like,
I just don't know why people are just cunts all the time. I mean, like, I'll just see, every time I go on fucking Facebook, all I see is people complaining about everything. It's like when somebody says like, oh, hopefully the gyms will be open in June or July, and some prick will just come in like, oh, fuck, nah, just get it in your head, these gyms are not going to open this year. And it's like just negative, shitty, just fuck off, you don't know that.
That's like, one thing, but when you're wishing...
But that's something small.
Yeah.
When people are just negative about, just in general, it's that was just a small point.
Yeah,
it's like, why would you go on somebody's page and wish death on them? Or say they're going to die? He's a fucking person. I've had it said to me.
Some guy did it to me like 2 days ago.
Yeah, when I've gotten to the point now when people see like leave comments, I'll either delete it or just reply, "Fuck off, you cunt."
I block them. I'm like,
I do that as well. But it's like sometimes I just leave it and I like to reply and let everyone just smash them.
Yeah, I don't.
But a lot of the time, I hate just overly negative way that people are, and it's like people are always shitting on, like, say, like Boris Johnson, for example. I'm sure our government are actually trying their hardest to sort this out as best they can.
Yeah.
And people are just shitting on them at every opportunity they can, and making personal remarks and just being horrible.
Yeah.
It's like, just why do you need to be that way?
I don't know. According to this guy's question, though, or going back to it, all I'll say is all of us, when we get into whatever profession we got into, especially bodybuilders, understand the health risks, and we just decide that that's something we're going to try and mitigate as much as possible.
Yeah. If I had to take extremes, I don't think I would.
What does that mean?
If I had to like push my drugs to a limit I wasn't comfortable with, or if I had to, I took a risk. I mean, obviously in 2018, I ended up in hospital. I nearly lost my life. So since then, my perspective has changed. I don't think I would push things to an extreme that it is to the point where it's not, oh, this could be detrimental.
You know, that the scary thing about bodybuilding is it's hard to know where that limit is.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So there's always that this could be detrimental to your health, but there is a line you can cross where it definitely will be detrimental to your health.
Okay, wait a minute. So this is an important discussion. So we'll kind of end it with this because we've been on for a couple hours already, but
3 hours.
It has been 3 hours, hasn't it?
Nearly.
We answered all the questions though. Like
people are loving it.
We answered every one.
Good.
Well, everyone I picked. We didn't answer all of
them. We've answered all the questions that I picked. Well, obviously.
No. But last week I picked a bunch. We only answered like 4. So
no, but
listen. This is what I was going to say. It's important because I'm kind of asking. I'm not telling.
Okay.
So So when you're saying that, you're talking about diuretics, because there was obviously a
But a lot of that was. I mean, I talked about this the other day on an interview, and I was saying that a lot of that was me just telling Chris I'm fine, and him just carrying on doing the normal thing you do.
But wait a minute, that's not the point of my question. So my question is, you're saying there's a limit I won't go to, or a line I won't cross. Obviously, you know where that is with diuretics, because if you take too much.
I do now. I know now. Yeah, I know far more.
But it's harder to find that line when it comes to like testosterone, because there's no definite impact.
No, there is. There's a massive difference between 150 milligrams of trenbolone a week versus 1,000 milligrams of trenbolone a week. There is a massive difference in terms of.
Wait a minute. I understand that, but what I'm saying is it's not immediate. So if you don't know the physiology of what's happening to you, and you decide to take 1,000, you're not going to feel the repercussions of it for 5 years.
No, but you know it's going to do damage.
Not everybody. I don't know if everybody does. Or I don't know if everybody knows how much.
I'm not talking about everyone else. I'm talking about you and I. You and I know that 1,000 milligrams of tren is a stupid idea.
Yeah, I've never gone that high.
No, I never have, and I never would. Probably because I can't as well. But it's a lot. Like if Chris said to me, I want you to take, like Chris has told me to take a certain amount of something before, and I said I don't want to do that much. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
And
the most I've ever done I did tren and anthate. The most I did was 600.
Yeah, to me that I wouldn't be comfortable going that high with that.
That was the highest I ever went, and it was for a short period of time. I didn't really feel good on it.
Yeah, but I think it's I think again I've learned. I mean, a lot of my blood work I've had Dr. Dean look at before.
Yeah.
And he looked at my last lot. I was like, that's fine.
You think 600 is crazy?
No, it's not crazy at all. It's not crazy.
What is your max? Like, what is your max limit for
200,
tren?
200.
Really? So if you're doing like tren acetate, you're doing like half a shot?
I'd normally do, it's like 50 every other day.
We probably shouldn't get this detailed about it.
No, I'll do like 50 Monday, Wednesday, Friday if I need to. But like the reason why is if I get what I need out of that, I'm not going to go any higher than that. Like, and that's why I went back to earlier when I was saying I feel very fortunate that I haven't had to.
Do you think things like that is what determines, like when you try and measure somebody's genetics? I know people say like, oh, some people are hyper responsive to juice. Yeah. I don't know if I believe in that, but to me, tren is only a cosmetic thing. You think so?
For me, yeah, 100%. I only use tren for a cosmetic aspect at the end of a prep.
Oh, wait a minute. I see what you're saying. So you're not saying it is. You're saying for you, that's why you use it.
For you, that's why I use it. So for me, so I wouldn't choose to use tren in the off-season because I know how damaging it can be. I know.
So this is why
it's safer options. So for the sake of like, I can get that cosmetic look out of a very small amount. So why I'm not going to risk? I've got
for me, it wasn't cosmetic. Just so I can explain.
Okay,
So for me, I used to take Anadrol.
Okay.
And D-ball, whatever, periodically in the off seasons, and I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't eat.
Yeah.
So it was one prep me and Hani were doing, and I think I was doing Anadrol was part of my stack, and I'm like Hani, I can't fucking eat, man. Like I like one meal a day was like it.
Yeah.
So I finally figured out what it was, and we dumped it, and my appetite went through the roof. But then I needed something to replace the strength.
Yeah.
Because you get some strength gains from Anadrol, obviously.
Yeah, 100%. But going back to that, like I don't want artificial strength because I'm already quite strong naturally, and not literally naturally, I'm quite strong.
Yeah,
so you add all the other stuff in. Like if I had a lot of tren in, it's going to be detrimental to health. It might give me this artificial strength where I'm lifting more than I'm capable of, and what I lift anyway is quite dangerous a lot of the time. I don't want to risk it. I don't want my lifts coming out of a bottle.
But see, that's a little harsh. It's not like coming out of a bottle, but
no, it's not. It is.
But you're the only person I know.
For me, I don't want my squat to go from 5 plates for 10 to 7 plates for 10 just because of tren.
Yeah.
I would rather earn it just by progressive overload.
But it's not. That's not how I mean it. If I bench 4 plates.
Yep.
Oh, I shouldn't say that either.
But no, but like, what I mean is I don't want my strength coming out of a bottle. A lot of people have Anadrol only because it makes them really strong and they feel better in the gym because they're lifting more in front of their mates.
Well, it's not because I'm lifting in front of my mates.
No, not you. I'm talking about other people.
Yeah.
And they don't eat their meals. Whereas for me, I'd rather get stronger because of my training.
Yeah.
Rather than rely on a drug. And to me, a lot of the more dangerous drugs, like say Halo or Tren, And even Clen, they're quite risky.
But this goes back to our old discussion about...
They are cosmetic for me, and I use it to get a look. So if I can get the look I need from using the bare fucking minimum of those compounds, then I will. Things like Test, I've taken really high before, and it hasn't really bothered my blood work. I haven't felt like shit. And the reason I came back down is because I didn't get any benefit from it. So I thought, well, there's no point. So,
but this goes back to our other, like our discussion we have all the time, which is you're one of the few people that doesn't feel anything when they're on gear.
That's not true, because I think maybe I've just misconstrued it. I choose compounds on purpose that don't give you that like Tren.
I know, but
you're on it, and I don't want that.
But if you're not feeling a strength boost when you're on Test or Primo or
but it's not like substantial. For as an example, I can lift all the same weights when I'm off as I can when I'm on.
Yeah,
when I'm on, they feel lighter, and I get way more reps, and I'm way more comfortable.
Yeah, I can't.
Because
if I'm off, I'm benching 3 plates. If I'm on, I'm benching 4 plates.
So if I'm off, I'm benching 4 plates for like 4 or 5, maybe at best. But when I'm on, I'm doing it for 12.
But that's a strength gain.
It is, but it's not automatic. It doesn't just happen in a week. It'll be like 4 or 5, 6 weeks.
Yeah, same here. But that's still, I mean, we're still saying the same thing.
Yeah, I know, but I don't. It's not like when you go on Tren, you go from 3 plates to 4 plates in like a week.
Yeah, it's more dramatic.
Yeah, so I don't like that. I'm not saying I don't like feeling anything. I don't feel anything. That's not what I'm saying. Obviously, you do. I just don't notice.
You want it to be more natural than, for lack of a better word.
I want my steroids to be far more natural for them.
I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
I just can't find the word for it.
I'm a bit of a control freak, and I want to be in control. I don't want the drugs to be in control in a way. I don't want to feel insanely strong because I'm on a certain drug. Because I'm quite scared of injuries as well.
I mean, the very first injury I ever had was when first time I took Anadrol.
Yeah, and I just think it's to me like I don't know. I know what I'm trying to say. I'm probably just not articulating it very well.
No, I think you are. I think you are. You want your strength. Sorry, go ahead.
I would have no issue putting in 3 grams of Primo a week. Well, I would, but this is a very extreme example. I would do that over doing 500 milligrams of Tren a week.
I get your point.
So, I think I pick and choose what I like.
I would
rather use the things that give me that boost and the things you really feel. I think it's good when you're 4, 5, 6 weeks out and you're starting to feel a bit shit. You put the Tren in a little, like the small amount, as I said, you're going to get the cosmetic effect, and you do get that boost. It's not as dramatic because you're just pulling yourself out of the hole. And that's why I like it, and it does fuck my appetite quite badly as well.
I think I was definitely more extreme in my approach.
I'm not saying I haven't been extreme. I've just been extreme with the things that most people call
different
pussy,
compounds,
like pussy drugs.
Yeah.
I have. If it doesn't bother me, I'll use it. If it bothers me and I don't like it, I'll use it as sparingly as possible.
Yeah, I just kind of went with what.
Don't get me wrong. I've done a couple of cycles where I'm like, that's silly.
Yeah.
And it's like, but for like 6 weeks just to see what happens.
Yeah.
And then because if I all of a sudden got insanely good results, I might have been tempted to stick with it. But because I didn't see anything, not overly negative either, I just thought there was no point.
See, every time I did something fucked up, I was like, well, I'm seeing pretty good results. So just keep going.
Well, I don't know. For me, like I've always said, and that's kind of my motto of bodybuilding, the only thing I take the piss out of is my training.
Yeah.
And sometimes my cheat meals. That's about it. I don't like to.
But I think what's good about this show is it's a good example of great genetics and good genetics. Because I think your genetics are better than mine. I think that's one of the reasons why you're able to lift what you lift, recover how you recover, take the things you take. Like I probably had to do a little more to keep up with people
that most muscular picture I posted the other day, I hadn't trained really for a month before that picture.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I haven't really lost. I lost a fullness and a load of water weight, but I didn't really lose any muscle.
Yeah.
I understand I have good genetics and I'm very grateful for them. And I just think if you don't need to be as extreme, don't. And if you do feel like you need to be extreme, weigh up why is it so important for you to take it there.
Yeah.
If it means you can make a very good career out of yourself and you you might be taking some years off your life, then it might be something you might need to discuss with yourself. But for me, I'm quite happy to have getting where I am going without needing to do that.
Yeah.
If I did need to do it, I'm not 100% sure I would. Kind of depends.
It depends the situation that you're in. I think at this point in your career, if somebody said, hey, Luke, you're knocking on the doorstep. If you bump this a little bit, you're probably going to go into the winner's circle.
A little bit is fine, but 200 milligrams to 1,000, that's a jump, you know.
So, okay, there's a good
1,000 is because so many people do that these days.
I know, that's fucking insane, actually. Because I thought I was stupid at 600. And if you're doing 1,000, I can't imagine what that. I couldn't sleep. Like, my sleep was fucked. I was like aggressive as shit, and I just kind of felt more anxiety. I was like, if you're doing 1,000, like
maybe both of us should just do 1,000 for a month and just do the podcast and see how aggressive they get.
We'll just be fighting for like 2 hours straight.
Fuck you, man.
Okay, this is good. It's good that we have these discussions, because I think people need to get. This is really good for younger people coming up, because they can see a contrast, right?
Yeah.
Between what? But I do have one question. If somebody said to you now, right now, if like Jim Mannion came up to you and said, Luke, if you do 1,000 milligrams a week, you're going to win the Olympia this year.
I'll say I'll do it without it.
What if he says, no, you have to?
Well, how's it? What I say with your gym? You're going to come pin it for me? What are you talking about? I'd just probably inject food colored. I'd just put some pink. I'd just put a bit of orange food coloring into some Primo.
I know it's a tough question. You wouldn't.
It is a tough question. No, I don't know. It's something I'd have to really think about. And I'd probably be like, well, if I did it for 1 year and then I can retire, yeah, all right. But if I have to do it for every year for the next 8 years, I'm not doing it.
Are you going to retire if you win the Olympia?
That would be that's my goal. I say that now, but if I were to win it, I'd probably go, I want to do it again. This check is very tasty. I want to do it next year. I don't know. That's in my head. That's what I would like. That's my ultimate goal is to try and win it once. I believe it can happen, and I hope it does. But that's what I'm going towards. I'm not thinking.
Just gotta up the dose a little bit.
Yeah, I just got to smash in some more sauce.
All right, man.
But again, if I had to creep things up a tiny bit, I would. My point was, I'm not comfortable to go reckless.
I think it's smart. I think it's good that we have these, like I said, to have these discussions, because
I also think that's why I'm one of these. I don't look horrifically old. I still have my hair.
I still looked young at 31.
Yeah, you did. You did. No, you did. But I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about there's a lot of bodybuilders that are like 26, 27, or even in their 20s, and they look about 40.
Yeah.
And I think
I never did a lot of orals. You know that? I think that was part of the reason why I didn't.
Orals, it's the only reason I don't like them. The only reason I don't use them. It's just I like them pre-contest, like at the end. I like Anavar. The others I don't use because they just make me.
Sorry, I don't mean Anavar when I say orals. I meant like D-ball.
Yeah, I've never tried D-ball. I've never tried T-ball. Anadrol, I've done it. I've tried Anadrol. I didn't like it. Couldn't eat for shit. Winstrol, I can't even look at it without it making me feel sick. Those
people who don't know you probably think you eat Anadrol for cereal.
Because the way you live. I remember Phil Viz text Ben, and he was like, "You need to tell Luke to stop pinning his glutes." And I was like, "I've never pinned my glutes."
You haven't?
Nope. No, I had not since the very beginning. I've done it about a handful of times, and every time I did it, my lower back would be fucked for about.
But you have lumps there, not lumps, but like it's bigger in that area.
That's muscle.
Why'd you just develop muscle in your upper ass only?
But it's not. It goes like that, like everyone's does.
I know, but it
goes in and out.
But it's more on top here.
Depends how I pose. If I pull it all the way in, it's all the same.
It's all the same.
It's all the same.
So you've never done your glutes?
No, but it's not. Again, it's just I would love to do it. It's such an easy place to do it, but it just fucks my lower back every time.
Where's the most place to do it? Shoulders?
I do like shoulders, lats, and triceps mostly.
All right.
But yeah, glute. I've done my quads a few times. It just hurts. But yeah, the glutes. They would be a choice. If I got on with pinning there, I would. But like people have said, like because Phil said that, it did make me laugh because I've also been told that I abuse insulin and I abuse GH.
You're just a freak.
People just love to like. I kind of do believe Craig as well.
But that's because, well, I don't know.
I don't.
I always like to give everybody benefit of the doubt. I don't like that.
Craig's arms are jimmied the fuck up. He's put a ton of shit in his arms, and he can deny that all he wants. You can fucking see it. He straightened his arms; it's still peaked.
Yeah.
But that just might be where he bangs all his gear. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't think. I think there's just some people out there like you Craig Goliath, who is just a freak. That's why there's not many of them.
Yeah, I know, but it just that's why people want to attach that shit to you because they're like nobody can lift the stuff he's lifting without doing XYZ.
Yeah, but go back to I've documented pretty much my entire career. You can go back to before I did my first show, and I'm deadlifting 7 plates.
No, I know.
And I hadn't started gear then.
Yeah, I believe you.
You know, I'm not saying to you. I'm just saying if people doubted it, they can go on my fucking Facebook and see it. But
the problem is nobody does that. Somebody will come along. They're like, who's this Luke Sandoe guy? They'll go to your Instagram and they'll see the first 10 pages.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't really have a problem with it because I know that I'm not. So when people say, if people say to me, you're using so much gear, I just kind of go, yeah, well, I'm not. So I'm not saying I'm super low dose. I just don't take the piss. There you go.
Yeah.
So
all right. What are we doing? We're going to go?
Yeah, I'm going to go eat and go train. We've been
three and a half hours now. And
fuck me. We are boring people to death with this.
Nobody's going to watch this episode.
No, fuck it.
Is this a bad episode?
No, I think it was pretty good. It was quite. I know this. We had Abiad.
We had Abiad. We answered a lot of questions.
Yeah.
It was more of a roller coaster last week.
James just threw me off.
Well.
Last week when he came out of that, I was just sat like, I don't know what to say now, and I don't want to make a joke of anything.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, he's going to get roasted for this, but nobody roasted him.
No, you can't roast somebody for that. You can't roast somebody for being.
And people roast people for everything.
They're cunts though, and they're not the type of people that we attract.
Yeah, I guess.
I think you and I don't get that much hate in
when he was
because the people don't listen. People like if you're not like haters are not going to listen to 2 or 3 hours of podcast.
Yeah, that's true. No, I just he was telling the story, and I'm like, I wanted to stop him, but I'm like, I guess he wants to tell it. So
I just thought he's telling us because he wants to say this out loud.
Yeah.
He's obviously he's obviously, and I actually felt a little bit privileged that he used our podcast to put that there. Well, I mean, mate, you've just said it on Bodybuilding Bollocks. You should have chosen somewhere else to say that. But I mean, fair play to them. That took a lot of guts. I mean, sometimes I say stuff about myself I wish I should have said.
Yeah.
It's hard, but I mean, there's there's so many things I would never fucking ever say on this show. And I think for James to have said that, it's brilliant.
I don't think there's anything I've ever said on the show that I wouldn't say.
No, there's not. I've come close. I've nearly said something. I've been like, oh. I saw the funniest meme the other day. I can't remember what it was, and I didn't save it. And it's something to do with it was somebody going like, it was like a face like that, and it was something like when you're in a Zoom meeting and you share more than you realize, or something like that. And I just think every time we do this podcast, I just think,
I know.
I'm just in my house chatting with Fouad.
Yeah.
We talk on the phone quite a lot as well.
Yeah.
I just forget that we're not just talking on the phone.
There's 40,000 people are going to listen to this. Okay. I'm going to go eat, piss, go train.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. I think we should get Ben back on because people keep DMing me saying we should get Ben on. Well, let's do another one this week with Ben.
Yeah, okay. Let's get Ben on because he's just because obviously he's moved to Texas.
Yeah.
He's this is not, I know we said we're going to stop, but I want to talk to Ben about this in the air. He's always hated animals.
Yeah.
He's always been like, animals, fuck them. And now he's like Dr. Dolittle.
Why?
He's got ducks, piglets, his own dog. I've even seen him like with a cat.
His girlfriend, probably. His wife made it.
I love it. It's like, I always knew this because the thing with Ben is he's always he pretends. He'll even say that he doesn't like my dog.
Yeah.
I've seen him be like, hello, like petting him, but he doesn't think I'm looking. I've seen him do it.
All right, we'll bring him on. Yeah. Let's do Thursday or Friday. We'll bring him on.
Yeah, I'll message him out and see what he wants to do. Because I did speak to him about saying, come on. He said, yeah, anytime.
Okay, brother.
Cool.
I'll talk to you.
See you later, guys.
Bye. Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.